we have some weapons, yeah. Some fancy looking weapons here. Not just a boring old axe or a boring old bow, we've got some variations. So, this is what I want to talk about now, because since the last stream I've been researching, thinking about things, because the stage we was at last stream was that we was working on putting the hero's axe or the hero's bow onto him or her, because it's a custom hero. And because by default RPG Maker doesn't allow you to actually have your weapon in hand. Your battler basically looks like that in the battle system. Completely naked. Boring, right? I think so. We want to see our cool weapons. So yeah, just to make things a little bit more exciting in battle than how it is in the default RPG Maker battle system, I decided to overlay the weapons that the hero uses based on their class over the assets, over each sprite. And it was going well. We were trying to work out some positions last time. We were trying to figure out how to do it. And I think I'm pretty happy with how the bow looks now. I did manage to rotate it, by the way, because we were having some difficulty and it didn't look right. And I did in the end rotate it by 40 degrees, and I had to re-edit it because it was very distorted, which is what happens when you rotate pixel art by an odd that isn't 90 degrees. It tends to distort, but I just kind of tidied it up and it actually looks fine now. And it looks much more natural the way it is. And the axe as well. I thought that pose looks best. I think that's kind of what we was getting at there when we were talking in chat last time. But it's poking out and then we've got it sticking out. And I've tried to do the same thing with the bow as well. Have it behind him there and then behind him when he's dead. Because really when he's unconscious or when he's sleeping or injured, he shouldn't really be holding it because he's too injured to hold it. And I did test how this looked on some of the other heroes, and I did have to make a few edits because the way the female holds it is different to the male in some poses, so I had to kind of adjust it so it worked for both, but we've got it now. And hi Chairs, how are you doing? Checks, let me pronounce that properly. Welcome to the stream, how you doing? Lovely to see you. Doing well, thanks. Just working away. Yay. Oh my goodness, please use all the emotes. I love seeing them all. They're so beautiful. Oh my goodness, look at Asriel's. Look at all those fancy emotes. I see some, are they some of the Christmas emotes? I want them. I don't think I ever got them ones. Okay, folks. So yes, and one thing I did say about this was that we would not be able to have different looking aesthetics for the hero. We would for the other playable characters because they don't have custom assets. They just will have one look, but the hero has hundreds of different possible looks that he could have because it's a custom creator at the start of the game. So this is for that reason, and for RPG Maker's limitations, and the fact that it doesn't allow you to overlay a weapon over any character, which is lame, I thought it was going to be impossible. But I did some research and I think I've got a way to make it work. I was testing a few things in RPG Maker, having a mess about, and it is going to be possible with a lot of hard work. And I'm excited enough by the thought of having lots of different aesthetics of axes and bows over the course of the game that I'd be willing to do that. And it's not like I'd have to do dozens of weapons in one go. Episode 1 itself would probably only have a handful of weapons, so we wouldn't need to do another few until episode 2, which would be a long way off yet before we even begin that. I've got to finish episode 1 first. So I'm kind of willing to experiment a bit and see what we can do, because it'll just make everything a whole lot more exciting and just, you know, a bit less boring to have the hero be able to use different axes and bows as well. Rather than just the same old boring axe throughout, you know, or the same old boring bow from the start of the game. You want to see your weapon get more badass in appearance as you go, and I do anyway. And I think a lot of people kind of would like that. There was some forest bows and axes that were really, really pretty that I just saw a minute ago. Yes, we're going to look at them soon, Aggro. But yes, I'll tell you all about them in a second, what my plans are for them. It's super hype. I'm super hype and excited. LOL, my PC is packed up, so no streams until I move in. I feel bad because it's St. Jude's season and I'm streaming less than ever. Oh, well, no worries, Haley. You can do it next year. And you've done so much in the previous years that you should be proud. So, no pressure at all. But yes, you'll get back into streaming in no time. But yeah, moving can be a bit of a time-consuming process for sure. And I hope work's treating you well as well, Asriel, today. Did I ever introduce myself to you? I don't remember. I believe you mentioned, now correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes I am, but most of the time I'm right, because I have a good memory and I'm good with names, but sometimes I'm wrong because we're human. But were you the one who mentioned Lacia a few streams ago? We'll see if I'm right or wrong here. Yeah, I was right. That's right. I remember. I'm really happy I got to catch you live. Miss you, friend. Yeah, and throw me a DM at any time, Hayley, if you want to catch up. It's always good to hear from you. And let me know how things go. And whenever I catch you live again, I'll be sure to pop in when your moving's done. Wave Shiley from behind roll. Hi Flaming Beast 999, how are you doing? Oh my goodness, at first I thought it said 666. I thought you were the devil, and I looked like I was like full on not wearing any clothes for a minute then, because this top was like that, and I would have got banned from Twitch. Like, if I was like that, chat, I'd be banned. But no, I am not. I'm actually wearing a top, so we're all good. She is a friend and part of my stream team. She is cool. Lacey's lovely. I've known her for years. She was one of the first people that I got to know as a streamer when I first started streaming myself on Twitch. And so yeah, she's one of the content creators on here that I've known the longest. I run a gaming review site. We support indies big time. Oh, that's wonderful. If you ever want to pop your website link into our Discord so we can have a peek at it, Draw, feel free to. We have a creative work section, you see, and that's kind of a bit, in a way, that's the channel where the community can show off their work. And it doesn't have to be game dev. It can be literally anything. It can be art, it can be cosplay, it can be writing, it can be your own website and stuff like that. Hi Legmark, how are you doing? I get that a lot. Oh really? I wasn't the first? My goodness. Most of the time I'm right, this is why I follow Rose. Do you think you can DM me what you think the lottery numbers will be this week? Oh yeah, I will, because I've won the lottery so many times. That's why I'm a millionaire, Cap. How are you doing, Legmark? I also do some contract work for a gaming PR company. Oh, that sounds really cool. Those are really cool jobs, Straw. Flaming Beast though, LOL, understandable that some people think 666. I'm okay. I'm glad you're doing all right. What is the normal X times X size for pixel art? Hi Minna, how you doing? Normal. Well, do you mean in RPG Maker? Do you mean for the battle sprites? Because it varies between what assets you're actually doing. The battle sprite pixel is different to the walking sprites and the face sets. But I don't think you're restricted. I do believe you can change the pixel art sizes. I mean, ours is double. This that you see here is actually double to the default, because for me the default was too small. the characters look tiny, so doubling it up just made them look better for the resolution that we use. And the main thing was that it didn't distort the pixels, and it didn't. They're still crisp, they haven't gone blurry, so that's the main thing. And I'm a co-host of an annual charity marathon on Twitch in November, raising for Toys and for Tots. 8th year, have raised over, oh wow, through the years. That is fantastic. That is definitely something to be proud of, Draw. I've heard of Toys for Tots as well. Hi Oracle, how you doing? It's good to see you. How have you been, Oracle? Look, your character's here with his shiny purple eyes. Badass. Ironically, aggro, I never intended for it to mean that though. 666, it's okay, you know. It's an underrated number. Speaking of lottery, I should probably play the tarot said I'm lucky this week. Really? That's good. You should do it, Moon. The name of the site is The Drastic Measure. Nice to officially meet you. Also, I like the fox. Yeah. Is the fox your mascot? Same as the bat being my mascot. Crispy pixels, do they taste good? Yes, crispy pixels are the best kind of pixels. I struggle in adding details on the label on my booster bottles with small X times X size. I'm talking about pixel art game for mobile, still in the process of making characters and sprite sheets for the game, maybe something like Pac-Man. Oh right, well, yeah, I'm not an expert when it comes to mobile development or gaming at all. Very naive when it comes to that side of things. I do believe this game can be ported to mobile or any RPG Maker MV game, but I chose not to because it just wouldn't fit. You'd have to redesign the whole UI, and it's pretty difficult sometimes to do that for such a small screen. But, you know, it's going to be on PC, it's going to be on Windows at the minimum. I can definitely say to it'll be on that. I would definitely be up for putting it on other platforms, but it's very much a question mark right now. And Flaming is one of my minions. It is. I'm good. Be back in a few. Just need to get my dinner. Oh, yum, dinner. Yummy. Let us know what you have. But yes, guys. So, as I was saying, the goal is to get the custom hero to have multiple variations of different looking aesthetics of his weapons over the course of the game. We do have hundreds of different custom hero assets. I counted them after stream, and I think it's 294 different looks that your custom hero possibly can have. So these two that you see here are just two of those. I mean, he looks the same in both these. The only difference is he's a warrior in one and a hunter in the other. But these are two of the 294 possible custom hero assets you can have. So because of all those assets, that means I have to manually copy and paste this layer here and the arrow now on over every single one of those, which it might seem like a lot of work, but it's fine. I've even thought about setting up a macro, but part of me doesn't want to because I always get paranoid if the macro does it wrong. And I prefer doing things by hand because then I can check things and make sure it's looking okay. And the last time I used a macro, it crashed my computer, so... But yeah, we'll see. It might take a lot less time than I think. You know? I think a trick to doing very repetitive work like that is to just put on some music in the background and chill and just do it. Thank you for the advice in the info. You're welcome. I wish I could help more, Minna. But yeah, I'm very much a bit of a noob myself, and I'm learning as I go with things. That's how you gotta do it. And thank you for the follow, Velo. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. And I hope I haven't missed... Oh, yeah, Minna followed as well. I hope I thanked you for that. I never like missing things like that. I used to have follow alerts up on the stream. But eventually I got rid of those because it was quite often. But we do get notifications come up for other things like... bits and subs and all those kind of things. Right, so yeah, so I was having a go, guys. I was thinking, what axes and bows can we have in the Everbloom Forest? Right then. And as you can see, we've got some very foresty themed bows and axes here. And I was thinking that these could be the axes that we find in episode 1 at the Everbloom Forest. This could be the starter axe, because I kind of want the starter axe and starter bow to look a little bit bland, because they're never fancy, the starter weapons, are they? And I didn't want it to look too OP. Like the one we've got here is made of metal, I believe, or you know, it's a shiny one. That's all I know. It's a shiny axe. And I feel like that might be a bit strong, powerful looking, I guess, for such an early stage of the game. And I wanted something that looked a bit more like woody and a bit more blunt looking, not as powerful, not as shiny. But for the other two, I thought, yeah, it'd be nice if we have some foresty themed weapons, because I found them on this website, guys. I'm actually gonna get it up now, but I did make some edits, and I'll talk about the edits I made in a minute. So where is our internet? Here it is. Okay, so there's a thread here, and I'm going to actually put it into chat for anyone who's curious and wants to have a look through those weapons. What Dragon is like the creator of weapons, really, in the community. There are a few others, but he seems to be the one who does the most. He has a lot of joke weapons as well, which kind of gives the option for having some really fun, like quirky playable character classes in the game if we wish. I mean, we have like sticks, spoons, and you know, some kind of silly weapons here. There's some proper ones as well. Lots of swords. Just so many weapon choices. And there was one where I saw forest themed weapons, and I was like, those would be perfect for the Everbloom Forest. There's forest and vine ones and flower and grass ones, but I wanted to edit them slightly because I loved the vines on them, on the ones here, but I didn't want to use metal as the actual material of the axe, because I wanted it to look more like it came from the Everbloom Forest. So this here is actually stone, and I purposely made it so that it resembles the Everbloom Forest cliffs visually. So I'm going to get a picture here so you can all see. Actually, we'll get another one where we can see the cliffs better. So as you can see here, we've kind of got these sort of brownish cliffs in the background. I'm going to copy this. And I think I've got the colour pretty close. So it kind of makes it actually look like the stone came from the Everbloom Forest. Mountains, cliffs, should I say. And of course the vines came from the Everbloom Forest as well, because there's vines all over the place on this map, as you can see here if we zoom in super close. And here it's a very viney and foresty themed area. So I thought I think it'd be cool to have this second row of themed weapons be the ones sold in the shop perhaps, and maybe these ones here could be either done from crafting or a drop from a quest, like a rare drop or a reward from a quest. So they would be special to get, you know, so. But yeah, they're fancy, and then, you know, I think it'd be cool if we have themed weapons like that, so if we wherever we go to next, if it's in the world, we'll visually make the weapons look like it came from there as well. Thank you, Burke. How are you doing? Very classic RPG, Cliff. Hi, Dong. How are you doing? Yeah, and I'm very much a fan of. I want to try and make it this game makes sense with realism, which could be a challenge to do with something that's pixel art 2D, but still you can do it. And that's why I think it'd be super cool to at least have the weapons look like they came from this area. So this would very much likely be the starting weapon. Actually, I'm going to just copy this image here so I can make some notes. I don't want to do it to the original image because it'll mess up the way it's meant to be laid out. But I was thinking of just making some notes of that here before we actually get these assets put on the characters. But for now, I'm only going to do the assets for the top row of weapons. And I'm going to do these another time because otherwise we'll have triple the assets to do all in one go. And these are the only, we're only going to see this weapon for the first bit anyway, the bit we're on now. So So when you're the hero, you can only either be a warrior or a hunter. Those are the options you get at the start of the game. So that's why we have the warrior's weapon, which is the axe, and the bow, which is the hunt's weapon. And of course we have Rose, who is a vampire, and we may have other playable character classes join us in episode 1 as well. And if they do, I can't see it being many. At most it would be another 2, I'd say, in episode 1, another 2 playable characters if we're going to have anyone. We don't know who they'll be yet, but we'll see. But whoever those characters are that do join the party in episode 1, we will make their weapons follow this same theme as well, of course. We wouldn't need to do these weapons for the characters that we meet much later in the game, though. I mean, we might, if we have it as an option to go back to the Evergreen Forest and buy weapons for characters that came in later. But the question is, would those weapons be weak at that point? Or would we have an option where weapons could be customised and made stronger? We don't know yet because we haven't really talked about weapon mechanics, but something to consider. So that's hero starter weapons here. Sold in Lakefall weapons store. Possibly. I mean, I haven't considered a 4th version of these yet. We might, but for now I think keep it at 3 for episode 1. Because we don't want to put too much on ourselves too soon. So this one could either be hero weapons, either made from crafting, rare drop in a quest, or no, a rare drop in a battle, or a reward from a quest. So there's 3 options for what we, where we could get this 3rd tier of weapons from. Or we'll leave it open at this stage because we don't really know what's going to be the best out of those 3. Move that across so we can actually See? So yeah, feel free to let me know what you think of them, guys. I made a slight edit to the axe as well, because the original axe that was on the link from the RPG Maker forum didn't have roses. Or are there roses, or are they just flowers? They didn't have the flowers on them. It was just like a stick with the bit of grass tied around, and I don't know, that visually to me was a little bit plain compared to how the bow looks. So I wanted to make the axe look nice, so I found the flowers and added those. And it just gives it a little bit, makes it look a little bit more fancy. Hi Neffel, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So yes, the task for today, I'm going to get these weapons, this first tier, the starter weapons. I think I'm happy with them. I don't think I'm going to want to change them now. I think I like the look we've got here for those, because they look bland, and they're meant to look bland because it's the starter weapon. I could have easily have gone for the metal axe, because that looks like a pretty standard looking axe. But I'd have only have gone for that one if I wasn't going to introduce the idea of having different aesthetics over the course of the game. Because I'd have wanted to go for a good looking all-rounder type of axe and bow if we weren't going to have the different aesthetic features. But because I'm going to go all out and have those, we can have a boring looking first weapon now. So yes, I am excited. It's made me feel invigorated just thinking about having this in our game, because it just makes things just more exciting. And we don't have to do a weapon for Rose, because she's a vampire. She actually doesn't have her weapon physically in battle, because her weapon's are teeth. And there has been a little bit of discussion on how on earth she would upgrade that weapon if it's her actual teeth. But there has been some talk in the Discord ideas discussion channel about that. A few months back we had to talk about that, so there is some ideas where we could take that. There was the idea of using animal blood as a sort of upgrade for her, like her strength. And it started like more like lowly animal blood, and over the course of the game it gets more epic. So what if we was going to go for a sort of blood upgrade to make her teeth stronger or whatever, we would probably pick a sort of creature that was very in theme with the Everbloom Forest for that kind of weapon. But yes, because she isn't going to have different looking teeth, if you know what I mean. Rose's teeth will always look the same. She's not like going to have floral teeth or anything like that. That'd be a bit weird. So I do think having hers just be a little bit different in that regard, that it's actually not a physical weapon, but sort of something blood related could fit, as long as the theme stays the same in a way. Like we could think of a sort of floral themed creature for Rose's teeth for this, the one sold in the store. Well, this isn't floral, this is vines, so that a vine themed type of blood from a creature for that, and a floral one for that one. We'll see. Hi Eld, how are you doing? It's good to see you. In vampires in your RPG, sunlight doesn't bother them. No, binary. And we have to have it like that, really, because the Everbloom Forest is daylight right now, and it would kind of make the game pretty difficult if Rose had to hide during cutscenes that we need her, and battles that we need her in during the daylight. It would just make things very messy and a bit confusing. So we don't have to go by that law. I'm all for like twisting things and creating our own kind of vampire lore, as long as it works, of course. So So yes, Rose can walk in the sunlight. Need an epic dentist blacksmith somewhere with rare upgrades for interesting materials? Yes. And we do have David's character that is a blacksmith in our game. He lives on a mountain though, so we might not see him until much later, or I feel like going to a mountain wouldn't, that could easily be episode 2 or 3. But definitely not episode 1, so, but it makes sense to meet Dave more early mid-game when we've got a few crafting materials under our belt at that point, so that we can actually create some really cool things when we meet him on top of that mountain. And yeah, a dentist as well, I suppose. I mean, it's a weird one with Rose, because although she uses her teeth as the weapon, which obviously she would use her teeth because she's a vampire, what else would she use? It's the actual weapon upgrades that make Rose a difficult one to deal with, because the Hunter and Warrior are easy. They just have weapons. Bow and arrow for Hunter, an axe for Warrior, and every other class is the same as well. They just use a weapon. But Vampire's very unique in the fact that they don't have a physical weapon. They just use their actual teeth. So because visual looking teeth would be weird, I think having blood upgrades that kind of strengthen a teeth, if that makes sense, could work. Which means she wouldn't need a weapon, a visual looking weapon at all. We'd equip the blood like we'd equip a weapon, but we wouldn't see anything visual physically in battle for Rose's particular character. So in that regard, we don't have to make a weapon for Rose like we are for the Hunter and the Warrior. Constantly carry a Victorian parasol. Solution sorted. Enchanted parasol. Oh, a parasol? Is that like what you imagine a vampire to have? Like, Rose is a very different kind of vampire though. I'm going to do some image referencing. Like, there's absolutely no class about Rose. She is very feral. She's not like one of those charming, like very sophisticated vampires. She's animalistic. That's why she just bites. With that, like an actual animal, she's feral. So I just cannot imagine her having a weapon at all, because she wouldn't have the finesse to even hold it. But there has been discussion. I think it was Try who pops into these streams now and again. He kind of wants to be a vampire character too, but his vampire would be more of that classic, gentlemanly vampire, that's got the charm. And we're still like keeping it open of what weapons he could use, because rapier was one for him. But we'll see, it's still very much out to be decided. Hi, Ragnar, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. What are we up to today? Well, lately, for the rest of the month, we're going to be working on battle system related things. Whether that's weapons, skills, or balancing the first boss. It's going to be a mixture of those 3 things. But for today's stream, it's weapons. I've been thinking this week of the possible variations of weapons our hero could use. Because you get a choice at the start of the game whether you want to be a hero that uses an axe or a hero that uses a bow, Hunter or Warrior. So we've got bows here and axes here. And because our first area is a forest, it's a very enchanted forest, lots of vines, lots of flowers. I thought it'd be cool if we make the weapons kind of visually match what this area of the game looks like, and that would be a consistent theme throughout. Like if we ever go to a snowy area, we'd have ice themed weapons. If we went to a volcano, we'd have fiery weapons, things like that. I think that'd be pretty cool to keep the weapon that's sold in the shops, or from the quests or rare drops in those areas, make them actually look like they're part of that region and were made in that region. Because this particular axe and this particular bow, the material, the stone for the axe head and the arrow is literally, I've tried to get it as close as possible in aesthetics to the stone in the area, how it looks like on the cliff. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. Nungi, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Forgive my ignorance, are you guys making a game? I just stumbled over this chat. Yes, we are, Ragnar. So just for a bit of summary, I'm the person that builds the game, and chat kind of hang out with me, in which we talk about ideas like for the game, just ramble on together and build a world. You know, we shape it all together, and sometimes we do polls to make decisions for how things are going to go. We even do polls for as simple as things like naming characters as well, or naming zones, but we haven't done polls in a while because sometimes the polls can distract from the game development, but whenever there's an opportunity, it's always fun to do them. Hi, will this be multiplayer? No, it's a single player 2D RPG, Wings. So very much like your Final Fantasy franchise, Chrono Trigger, I suppose Kingdom Hearts in a way. It's very much inspired by JRPGs, retro style ones. But it is going to take a lot of Western RPG inspiration as well. The battle system and the aesthetics are very much JRPG, but we have like a quest journal system that very much resembles how Western RPGs do things. So it's kind of gonna be a mixture of all RPGs, really. How are you doing though, Nungi? I hope you're having a good day. Oh my gosh, am I seeing right? You are shooting that adorable pizza. Some fun upgrade materials could be thrown in for laughs. Fluoride from a flower monster. Listerine from Enoki mushroom monster. Listeria is a disease people get from that mushroom. Yeah, honestly though, it's always great to hear your ideas for those things, and I'm gonna actually copy and paste that out because we will be having an item stream. Probably have the item stream once we've finished all the battle mechanic stuff that we're doing. So perhaps next month, maybe at some point in June, because there's a few little bits and bobs to finish first, but maybe some point next month we'll have an item stream where we discuss things like drops from the monsters in this area. They're all forest themed monsters, and I'll show you what they look like. We do have a mushroom actually, so that would fit. But there's a lot of like sort of typical foresty, enchanted kind of themed enemies here, and we need to consider what sort of things they're going to drop, like crafting materials, and also things like potions. We still need to think of our own unique name for potions in this world as well, so that's something that's up for discussion when we have the item stream. It'll probably be ideal to talk about the lore of Raindrop Chronicles as well when we do that, so we can all make it link as best as possible. But all I know is I don't want to call it Potions and Phoenix Down, so we're going to give it our own names. But that's very important, especially once we've done all the mechanic stuff, like the first boss, and we're going to want to think of drops and what they're going to drop, and that's all going to be very exciting. So I'll be excited to do that, but I think it's a good thing to focus on one thing at a time. So right now it's weapons, next week it's going to be the skill trees, and the week after that it'll very much likely be balancing the first boss and just making sure that battle is working well, because we did make a start on the battle, but we need to finish it because there's a lot to do to make that boss fight more exciting, and we need to make sure it's beatable, not too easy but not too hard either. We've got to get that balance right. So yeah, for the next 2-3 weeks it's gonna be battle mechanic stuff, and it's always fun to do because it's important. Hi Mia, how are you doing? It's good. And hi Try as well. I was just talking about you, Try, actually. We were talking about vampires, and I ended up bringing up the idea of your character, the one that we were kind of imagining that you wanted to be. So I hope you're doing well. Try and how are you doing as well, Mia? It's good to see you. And how long have you been making these type of games? Well, this particular game that we're doing now, we stream 141 are we today? It says in the title. It's been consistently, we've been doing this for about 6-7 months now on stream. And we did it a bit before that as well, but it was more sporadic. The streams were more rare and not as often at that point. I was only like streaming once a week and once a month at that point, but we've been doing it consistently 3-4 times a week since October. So yeah, it's been fun. We got quite a bit done in that time, but we're still very early days because, you know, game development, when you want it to be good, it's always a little bit slow, but it's worth it because quality over quantity, I say. But yes, so yes, it all started just as a bit of fun, but I've started to take it more seriously as we've gone on, I guess. Valk, thank you so much for the follow. Sandwiches. Hello, what language are you using for making the game? Also, is it for phone or PC? It's for PC, Valk. I can 100% promise that PC is the one thing it will be on. Which is good because most people have a PC. Most, not everybody, but most. And there's a question mark there about some other platforms. I have Mac and Linux and Switch. That one's unlikely, but there is a possibility because I do believe RPG Maker port to Switch, but because of licenses and that regarding consoles, I don't know if that's even going to be a possibility, but I can 100% confirm PC. I'm not going to think too much about other platforms yet because we don't know. We'll think about that when the time comes. Yes, finding a name for health tonics. Yeah, thinking of a really cool name because we don't want to just steal Final Fantasy's names. That's not unique and creative, is it? The duelist, yes, indeed. Try's vampire is the classy vampire. Rose is the feral vampire, and Try's vampire will be the classy one. Hippie sippies. Healy drinks, lol. But yeah, Raindrop Chronicles, we do have some lore regarding Raindrop Chronicles. It's a world where raindrops are our currency. There's a video on it actually. So for those that haven't seen, I'm going to put it in chat. So yeah, raindrops, we don't have solid currency in our game. It's all water based, and yeah, it's quite fascinating, but there's a lot of gaps to fill in, but some of it's been set in stone in that little video. So it'd be kind of cool if we did link the healing elements of this world and the potions and the revives to that sort of concept. I think that would be pretty cool. So if anybody at all does have ideas from watching that video, feel free. I mean, if there's ever anything super lengthy, it's probably ideal to pop it in the Discord rather than in stream chat. But, you know, I like to let you guys know just so you're aware of the lore that we're slowly building with the game. It's all very, very, you know, over time we're going to set more in stone. There's still a lot to figure out right now. How are you today? How good day in event? Can side quests factor into the game? Yes, Mia. We're going to have side quests in Raindrop Chronicles, and I'm a side quest. Oh, I'm such a fusspot when it comes to side quests. I've said we are going to make sure that our side quests have substance. They're going to be memorable side quests. We're not going to have kill 5 wolves and that's it. I mean, we might. I've thought about having hunt sort of quests just for extra class points and for your progression in the skill tree. I've thought about those little hunt type of quests, but they wouldn't be the actual side quests. The actual side quests we'd have would be super fun, memorable side quests that you won't want to skip. I think as soon as people start getting bored in the side quest, that's when you gotta sort it out and make it better. But yes, there is going to be a stream. If we look at the Trello page, folks, I'm just going to get the Trello page up just so you can see. And I'm zooming to make sure we have a side quest stream planned for July, I think. I mean, whether that will be put back to August, we don't know, but right now it's July, and we'll be actually considering what side quests we're going to be having in the Lake Fallen Everbloom Forest area, which is the first area of our game at that point. So it's all about tidying up the things at the moment, and then we'll be thinking about new content like quests and what's going to happen in the next main quest once we've tidied up what we've already done. And hi Van, how are you doing? Oh my goodness, I'm so slow at saying hi today because I'm on a ramble. How have you been doing, Van? Life drop for health. If anybody at all does come up with any name suggestions, I am gonna pop into Notepad, because when we do have our item stream in the near future, I'm going to want to have all these with me, so I don't have a blank brain. I can look at all the notes and see what you guys have got. Ideas for what, Van says. Yeah, we're thinking about because it's a little bit premature. I mean, we're not having an item stream yet, but so we're not going to like discuss items too extensively today. But if anybody does like come up with names in chat, I tend to just copy and paste them anyway, just so I've got the notes there for when we do have that stream. So yeah, I was saying I linked the lore video in chat so that if anyone wanted to watch that, they'd get a little bit of a background on how the world works so far and how it's very much raindrop themed. So if we did make the healing items kind of link in with the whole concept of raindrops, all very close to it, you know. I'm very much clueless for ideas in that regard at the moment, but I'm sure there'll be some. Maybe the potion can be a raindrop, like concentrated, heal drop, mana drop. Yeah, so raindrops are the actual currency, but if there's like some form of enchanted raindrop, or that could be a potion, that could totally be a possibility. So I'm gonna copy and paste what Mia said as well. Thank you. Mr. Bye, thank you for the follow, I appreciate that. Fantasia, thank you for the host, and Mia as well, appreciate you guys. Befriend the wolves, be one of them, then after gaining their trust, kill them. You'll need plenty of NPCs then. Yeah, so we have about a dozen NPCs in Lakefall right now, but they haven't really been developed that much. But when it comes to thinking about the side quests and the world building, which we've kind of got here, all these three things in particular link, we'll probably think about side quests as we discuss the world building and the characters, because we want them to link. In my opinion, the best kind of side quests are the ones that sort of make, you know what I mean, fit with the theme and the lore of that area, and rather than just something random that doesn't connect at all. So once we've thought about how that area, the world building in it and the NPC sort of background stories, it might make us come up with some cool ideas. But there will be a limit on the number of side quests, I guess. We'll probably have to shortlist some, and some might not make the cut, but it'll be the best ones, the most interesting ones that we'll do. But yes, I want very rich, beefy, entertaining and memorable side quests. They'll always be the ones that make the cut. Those ones that you think that'll be super, that side quest will be so good. Those ones, if we come up with ones like that, they'll be top of the list of. But yeah, of course, not all of them will make the cut, because we can't have hundreds just in episode 1. It will be here till 2050. Is that Trello? It is, Ragnar. How are you doing? Okay, Rose, I've got to go to bed now, and it's just after midnight for me. Have a good day, everyone. Oh my goodness, midnight. Have a good sleep, Nungi. But thanks for hanging out and saying hi when it's so late for you. I super appreciate that. So you're discussing the battle system today? I am. So if we've got this is May's tasks, you see. So 2 tasks in May are battle system related things, and one of them's the skill tree for our current playable characters, and the other one's actually doing and finishing that first boss. And and doing the balancing and doing animations and sounds and all that fun stuff. But before we can jump into the actual boss, we need to make sure the skill tree, the first 4 skills, are actually implemented properly, because we can't properly test and balance that boss without the skills first, because all we'll have is attack and defend, and we'll die. We'll be weak. So we need to like make sure the skills we've got are working. And with the warrior, we were like, there's a bit of tidying up to do, but it's almost there. The hardest ones to implement are the vampire skills, because they're pretty unique. And I'm going to have to get my code head on for those, because it is a little bit maths based when it comes to implementing skills. But before skill tree stuff will likely be next week when we do that. I've kind of made it a thing to work on weapons this week, because it's something I've been delaying for a while. The weapons that the hero's actually going to be having in episode 1. So just to summarise for those that are new here or aren't very up on what it is all about in terms of the hero in this game, you get to choose between warrior and hunter in the custom hero creator at the start of the game. So whoever you pick out, warrior and hunter, the warrior will use the axe and the hunter will use the bow. So that's kind of the starter weapons I've thought of. That will be the ones sold in Lake Full Weapons store. And this third tier, there's a few possibilities for this one. They could either be made from crafting, a rare drop in battle, or a reward from a quest. I've even considered having a 4th tier and, making one of these go in the 4th tier. But I don't want to put too much on myself too fast, because that will be a lot of work if we're going to have 4 weapons in episode 1. I mean, I wouldn't say no, I'm willing to do the work, but it will be very time consuming to do. And the reason why it'll be time consuming is because we have 294 custom hero assets. So all those weapons, each of them, have to go on 294 different assets. And not only that, I have to do a common event in RPG Maker with conditional statements and assign variables to all of those 294 heroes, however amount of times we've got the weapons. So if we've got 3 tiers, then I have to do it 3 times. So it's more workload, but I feel like it's well worth it, because I just think different weapons with different aesthetics make things more exciting than having just the same boring weapon forever in the game from start to end. Especially if we're going to make the weapons visually look like the area. So Everbloom Forest, it's very viney, very floral. So if we're in a viney and floral area, having actual weapons that look like that, I think is pretty cool. And let me catch up with chat. I'm doing all right, sore after working out. Oh no, I've experienced that too, Van, because I never work out, I'll admit that. So when I do, I end up aching the next day. That's Trello. Trello's great, guys. I'm going to recommend it to you all. If you're working on a creative project of any kind, use this, because it's just so easy to just move things. I love the colours of the labels that you can give to everything. It keeps things really organised. And I just love how it looks. It just looks really... It's not overwhelming to look at, It's super nice. And I've got an important releases section here, guys. So we've got a first playable build plan for July. But in all honesty, I feel like changing that to summer, because it could even be August when it comes out. We'll have to see. Add to the lore of the area all the supporting characters, exactly as Riel. I always use The Witcher 3 as my sort of inspiration for quests, because I think they did them perfectly. Their quests all made the lore, it gave you more insight on the world and the lore and how everything is. They made you feel things, whether that was, they made you laugh, they made you cry, they made you gasp, quests that can bring about those emotions are always that's what I'm aiming for, you know. The last thing I want is to create quests that have been done hundreds of times before in other RPGs, because what is the point? It's a waste of time and assets and resources, you know. It's a waste of energy if it's already being done. So it's all about creating a unique story-driven experience. That's what I hope to do. And I think all of us, if that's why I love that this is a group thing, because I couldn't come up with incredible ideas all by myself. It's all about bouncing those ideas off each other. So I might have some ideas as starting points, and I'll be like, yeah, we could do this. But then someone here could be like, but we could turn it into this. And then it's like, whoa, that's amazing. And then we end up with the best quest ever then. So that's kind of goals. So are those new characters at the bottom of the screen? Some have names and others do not. Yeah, so how this works is stream avatars thing at the bottom. If you're talking in chat right now, then your name will appear. So Azriel just spoke, so that's why we've got Azriel's name there. For those that don't have the names, it's because they're not active. They're not actually active, they're just lurking, so your name disappears after about 10 minutes, I believe, or it might be 5 minutes. So yeah, and then you're just walking across the screen after that. So if I do this in chat, you'll see my character will have but yeah, now my name's come above my head, yay. And I think that way we don't get loads of names and it won't look all messy on the screen. But I love how we're getting lots of characters here now. It's nice to see all you awesome looking characters on the screen. Our races, job classes. Oh, so we have races in the game. If you've been on the website, you'll see all of those. We've got humans, elves, fairies, dwarves, reptiles, canines, and what are the other ones? Felines, neckos. I think they're all of them, aren't they? So yeah, your race, whatever your race is, it's separate from what your job is. And if you're a playable character in the game, if you're filling a form to be a playable character, once you got the Raindrop requirement, you can pick a class. Some class ideas might not even be on the form, so I'm always up for more ideas. If someone is like, well, it'd be cool if a so-and-so class is on there. Because there's so many possibilities and I'm not sure I've put them all on there, but, you know, it's exciting. So, is there a magic system? This seems like a great collaboration. Thank you, Mia, and thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. Magic system, that's a good question as well. So, because we've only introduced a warrior, a hunter and a vampire so far, we haven't really had the opportunity to explore magic yet, but we do have a sorcerer in the game. Let's just have a quick look at who we've got. So these are our characters, guys, in our characters channel in the Discord. You can see their character sheets here. These guys here at the top are the playable characters, and I've put in brackets what their classes are. The ones below that are NPCs, so they won't have a job because they're not actually characters that will be playable in the battle system. But yeah, we have some that are very magic-y. We've got a sorcerer here, we have a summoner, and we have your traditional sort of melee classes. We also have like a chronomancer, which is a time mage. There's going to be all sorts of quirky classes over time that you wouldn't normally meet, because people are creative here and they come up with us all sort. Like chronomancer was actually Master Emerald's idea. She requested that and I was like, yeah, totally, because it's a cool name and it's a cool class. So yeah, the sorcerer hasn't entered the game yet, or any other future magic classes. We do have some on the form. We got illusionist, we've got a necromancer, we've got priest, and I believe Van is going to be a priest. So that has been taken off the form now because Van has took that class. But there's so much room for magical classes, and I'll say yes to any of them. Honestly, if they are workable as a job, which I'd say we can be creative with most things, then yes, we'll have them. So usually what we'll probably do is, you know, we'll we usually do things as we go along and without thinking too much at once. But of course, it's always interesting to just chat and think about these possibilities as well. Lurking and working, thank you, Binary. It really is cool, yay. Mine's not there yet, but I'm guessing he has some sort of magic system too. Yeah, he's a priest, so he's a healer, and I'm very glad that we'll have a healer now. I've thought about this, and I've thought for a long time, when are we going to get a traditional healer in the group? Because we'll want to introduce a healer pretty early on, because it can get a bit frustrating without that healer. And there's definitely some that we've got here that could work as healers. Herbalists could, I suppose, you know, plants, things, healing, could have healing elements in them. But, you know, traditional healers are like your priests and things like that. And Van's character is a priest. And we've got, where are we? So we've got task here, do profiles for community member characters submitted before 8th of June. So Neffel, Scaly and Van are on our list so far. So that you guys will be done after the 8th of June. And the reason why it's the 8th of June is because that will be when the raindrop requirement raises. So I think that that's a good point to get the next ones done. I should have asked about the battle system in general. How does it work? Is it in the overworld or turn-based? Yeah, Scaly's on there. Yeah, she is. She is filled in her character form, so I'm excited to do hers too. But yeah, good question, Miss. So this the battle system is very much like your traditional turn-based old school 2D RPGs. It's turn-based. And there's map encounters. I'm actually going to do a test play now, just so you can see, because that will work way better than me explaining. So here we go. We don't have random encounters. That wasn't a popular one. We did a poll, you see. We did a poll ages ago, very much near the start of this whole project. And we said, so shall we have random encounters or shall we have enemies on the map? And everybody, well, most people loved the idea of enemies on the map. So we have like walking sprite silhouettes that represent enemies. So if you run into them, we have, oh, here we go. So if you run into them, it'll take you to the battle. So the silhouette that's walking across the area will always look like the enemy you're about to fight. So at the moment he's barehanded because we haven't equipped him with anything, but I've got a chest here. This chest is just here for testing purposes to get things fast. And I was testing things. I was testing the vine axe and the normal axe. So luckily now I managed to do it so that he is holding the axe. And it looks a bit messed up at the moment because we're in the process of doing it. But so he's got his axe and he'll attack. So yeah, that's how it looks. It's actually turn-based, very much like Final Fantasy X rather than the ATB. So as you can see in the top right hand corner, it shows the order of who's going to attack next. This little circle in the middle is going to be worked on, by the way. We're going to have some pretty icons there eventually. But yeah, we've got the characters sort of go here to show who's about to attack, and we've got the active highlight on whose turn it is. So yeah, that's kind of what it is, you know, traditional. Oh, and I want to edit this background, by the way. I want to put more flowers here because there's not enough flowers here, and Everbloom Forest is full of flowers, so we're going to need some more. But yes, we also have a mini map as well, as you can say, but in the options you'll have the option whether you want to hide that or you want it showing, because I want to make sure you guys get to play it as you want to. And same goes for quest markers as well. You'll be able to turn them on and off. Okay, cool, yay. That's actually really awesome though. I hate random encounters. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. I mean, I'm personally a nerd for them, but that's because I grew up on those games, so I'll always love them for nostalgic reasons. But I can totally get what the frustration. And this way you get to decide when you want to fight something, you know. You get to... We have a mushroom down here as well. So when you run into this guy, you'll fight the mushrooms. And when you've killed them, they disappear. And you get the class points, or the item drops the loots. But there will be a respawn. They'll respawn after a certain amount of time, because, you know, some of us like to grind. But yeah, that way you can, you know, you get to explore a bit. You don't get a lot of random encounters thrown at you all the time. Guess I've got some things to do. Oh yeah, you've got the 500 raindrops. GG try. So I'm going to just remind you guys, because some of you might, if you're not been around for a bit, there was an announcement in the Discord and on the Twitter that the raindrop requirement to be a character in the game will be increasing to 1,000 on the 8th of June. So you've got between now and then to fill in your form if you've got 500. And all of it's on the Twitter and the Discord why I've made that decision. To summarise, it's literally because we're getting a lot of characters now, and we don't want to get too much. We want to make sure we keep the quality over the quantity, you know. Of course, I intend for this game to have many NPCs, dozens of them over time, but we don't want too many too soon, because we're still on episode 1 with development. We're only touching the tip of the iceberg with this project. It's stream 141 today. You know, we're going to be in the thousands eventually, guys. This is a big project here. It's not one that's going to be over soon, so there's no rush to be a character. If you're interested in being a character but you see you're nowhere near the raindrop requirement, no need to panic, because this isn't going to be over and done with anytime soon. You'll definitely get a chance. You know, and the characters will all be introduced very slowly, because, you know, that's the best way to tell a story. We don't want to just stick the characters all in front of us for absolutely no reason. We want to make them appear at the right point in their character arc that fits with the region that they're in. Like, some of the characters on that character sheet very much would suit being from a city, a more bustling city, and so they won't be introduced until we actually get to a reasonably big city or town in the game. And, you know, everyone will come at the time that's right for them. While this might seem hypocritical, as I'm about to submit one, I think the amount of playable characters specifically could become an issue because of how much more they tend to require if they keep coming through at such a pace. Exactly, Try, which is ultimately why I raised the raindrop requirement, because I was having those concerns too. At the same time, I've kind of said that I'm aiming for Raindrop Chronicles to be, I think it was Chrono Cross. I mean, I never played Chrono Cross, so I don't know if it is that one, but I remember someone in chat saying that Chrono Cross was an RPG that had like dozens of playable character and job that you could pick from. Because we'd have a party selection tool when we get to mid and end game. Once we start having a few playable characters in the party and we don't have enough to be a battle, we'll have a party selection feature so you can pick who you want. And I love the idea of, I think it's pretty like strategic, and I love that idea of who am I going to choose to fight this boss out of my choice of all these playable characters by the time we get to mid and end game. Because some bosses will be great against certain bosses and others might not be as good. So there is a bit of a strategic sort of element there. And yes, it'll take time, because implementing skill trees for all of those guys is no easy feat that's done overnight. But this is like, you know, this is why this is episodic, because it makes my job, takes the pressure off. The fact that I only have to think about episode 1 right now is very awesome, because it doesn't put too much pressure on me. If I was to think of it like, oh my goodness, we're going to have 30 playable characters, if I thought of it like that, I'd pee my pants. You know, that's a big ask. But because episode 1 is probably only going to have Rose, the hero, and maybe 1 or 2 others, it just feels a lot better, you know, because... And over time, yeah, we're going to introduce it. But like I said, this is a years-long project that I do hope to monetize over time. So, you know, I'm getting something from it too. If it was something I was not getting anything from, I would easily, you know, that's when you can get tired and feel like I'm doing this for no reason. But of course, I want the longevity of this project to last. So, you know, and minor NPCs seem pretty chill comparative, of course. And who knows, I'm over time, like, mainly if the community grows as well. If we start getting loads coming in, I'd increase the raindrop requirement even more to what it is now, of course. I'll judge by how things are going. And I think we've still got plenty of creative playable characters that I'd love to see in the game, and that are on that form that haven't been picked yet. So, you know, I'm excited for people to reach that 1,000 raindrops from June the 8th, so we can still get some of those really cool ones in. But yes, we will. I would put it up to 10,000 if I have to. I'd rather do it like that than close it forever. So I think would be unfortunate if we had to say, sorry guys, no more submissions ever again for a character. I'd rather have a very, very high requirement than none at all. So we'll judge as things go along, how things go with this as time goes on. The Brown Recluse, thank you for the follow. I'm a recluse too, Brown. Got something in common. Welcome to the stream. Could be one. 108 or something crazy. See, games have done it. And I mean, we're gonna, you know, it's pretty crazy when you think of loads of playable characters with all these skill trees. But when you think of a game over a course of like years, it doesn't seem as overwhelming. If I had to do all those skill trees in like the space of a year, now that would be a bit stressy. But we're doing like this thing where there's a gate. So we'll have gates in between episodes where at some point you can't grind anymore. I mean, some people might get salty over that because some people love grinding, but we're definitely going to allow grinding in this game. We won't make the gate too cruel. But for the sake of myself and the pressure of getting like a finished skill tree and all in episode 1, it's not going to happen. So we're going to have gates. That way it takes the pressure off. We'll be able to, the playable characters we have in the game, we won't have to feel we have to do a complete skill tree from start to finish for all of them, you know. We can just do the up to the gate. And of course, I think it'll be a good idea to plan a sort of template of a skill tree from start to end, just so we don't have something take us by surprise. At least one skill tree we'll plan from start to end at some point. Just doesn't even have to be detailed. It could just be a rough guide, because we don't want any shocks creeping up on us and being like, oh crap, I didn't consider that, and we were already in episode 3. That would be bad. So for the purpose of not being like, oh my god, then we will probably do a rough plan. But I think, yeah, gates will be a good thing for this project. Scratch Mechanics, thanks so much for the Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. Can we have some hype in chat, everybody? Yay. Let's catch up with chat. Let's see that hype in chat, everybody. Breath of Fire, Dark Cloud and Wild Arms all need some love, yeah. Let's give the underrated RPGs some love. Breath of Fire is still my favourite franchise. 1 to 4 were fantastic. Yeah, and if there's any RPGs out there that have like, they're very much like how we're imagining Raindrop Chronicles to be, with like many playable characters, feel free to name them to me, because I can look at them as inspiration to see how they deal with such a thing. At that point, it would probably make more sense to make the cost different, descending from playable, major and minor. Yeah, smart idea, Try. So we'll see. We'll review things in another 4 to 6 months' time, say more close to the end of the year. We'll see how fast our submissions are coming in, and if we have to change the costs again, we will. I do have a feeling though that once June the 8th comes, we will have much less submissions, because people don't, it's not easy to get 1,000 raindrops, you know. You have to be a real regular to the stream for quite a long time to reach that. So I don't think we'll be getting submissions coming in too fast at that point. But if we ever do, if something surprises me and there are loads of people here again, then we'll just raise it again. It's easy enough. And you guys, it's not like you're going to get mad at that, because you guys care about this project too, you know. You don't want to see a bazillion characters in the game either, because it will take away from the quality. Dragon Quarter I liked, but it was a big change. Oh, I've not heard of that one. Steamrolling the game is no fun anyway. Yeah. Bomb dear. Hi Script, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, and thank you for the hype for Scratch, everybody. Just swung by to subscribe. Love the progress so far. Thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words, guys. So I did want to just give you all a little test play there to show you how the enemy encounters work in the game. And basically, because I'm aiming for a playable build in the summer, what I'm aiming towards is I want you guys to be able to walk through the whole of the Everbloom Forest, all 6 maps, be able to fight some enemies, get some progression, unlock some skills on the skill tree, do the first and second main quest and the first boss. I think that would be a good amount for the first playable build. It would kind of be like a demo then, that sort of demo amount of content, I'd say. And then from that point on, I'll just like build upon what we've done. We've sought more quests, more main quests, more side quests, making the UI prettier, any new features if there's any that work, and just make it just packed full of content until we're sort of happy with the quality and content amount we've got in episode 1. And once we're at a stage where we're like, yeah, this could work as an episode, you know, there's enough content in here for episode 1, then we think about all the releasing stage of things and all that stuff, and doing tidying up and testing and things. But I'd say Everbloom Forest is episode 1, so all of this place will be episode 1, and all the side quests that we do will take place here. Some side quests might lead to new areas, of course, because we're going to want to fight some new enemies. We won't want to have to fight the same boring enemies from our first run through the dungeon all over and over again, you know. We want a slight new environment, so there might be some secret areas that are open here that reveal some new enemies. And we do have a cave as well in map 4 that we might potentially, you know, have as a sort of mini dungeon area as well, maybe for main quest 3, because I have got an idea of how that's gonna go down, but there's a lot to chat about and a lot of potential ideas that we could have for that together when we talk about main quest 3. Have you thought about using Patreon to help fund things? Yeah, Binary, I have. It's a bit premature at the moment, considering I don't even have a build out, but there's I'd say as we get a little bit further, there's definitely things that could be rewards for Patreon peoples, you know, but I will discuss that probably in the summer, because there's a couple of ideas I've got for that, for sure. I think that would be smart, and at the end of the day, as much as I enjoy doing this as a hobby, like I've said many a times, I would do this until I'm a granny, until I'm an old granny at my computer. I get a lot of joy from doing this, even for nothing. But we gotta be realistic, you know. If it's gonna be an ongoing, years long, 5 to 10 years project, we're making an episode an epic fantasy here, you know, it's not going to be over in a year. I've got to be realistic, and I will want to get some reward from it, especially at the age I am, you know. I'll have to pay the bills eventually, but, you know, I might have to get another job, a second job, but if that ever happens, this would still carry on. Schedule would just change, at the worst case scenario, and it might be slightly slower if that happened, but, you know, I wouldn't like pack it in just if I had to get a second job. But ideally I wouldn't have to get a second job, but you have to think of all things, don't you? Okay, Granny Rose, how you doing, Fantasia? Good to see you. Yeah, Granny Rose would be cool. Granny Rose would be a badass. Could you imagine me here on Twitch as an 80-year-old doing the sequel, or I don't know how many sequels we have by then. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for the chat today. I've had fun. I mean, we haven't got much work done, but I always say this, and I like to say it over and over again just so people know that streams are for chatting and for talking together, not so much about doing the actual work. I mean, of course, I like to do the work while I'm chatting, and sometimes it's nice and chill to be able to do that, but streams are never the place to get super productive for me because I can't focus. It's hard to focus properly, you know. So I see it more as the discussion time, and that is really why I only do stream 3 days a week, because if I was streaming 6 or 7 days a week, or more than 3, you know, we wouldn't get anything done. So those days off really do help get the development, because yesterday was my day off stream and I was able to get some real research done on weapons and see if it was possible for the hero in the game to have different weapon aesthetics, you know, because before yesterday I didn't know whether I could do that because of all the assets we had. We have 294 hero assets, you know. And RPG Maker's pretty limited. It doesn't allow you to do things like weapon overlays over the battler image, which to me, there should be a plugin out for that by now, but there's not. So you have to kind of do things the hard, complicated way sometimes, but it'll be well worth it. The age I am, as far as I know, you are eternally ambiguously young. Well, I am a vampire, and it's true. That's how I'm able to keep my youth. When I'm Granny Rose, I'm still going to look like this. Well, maybe not exactly like this, but I definitely wouldn't look like a granny. That's for sure. Rose only likes talking to us 3 days a week. Yes. No, forever Fantasia. But yeah, I wanted to show you something else. This was how I knew it would be possible to use different aesthetics for weapons. So I've equipped the vine axe now. Let's run into this mushroom. Now, don't pay too close attention to this because the vine axe is going to look very messy, because I only did this as a test. But the main thing is, it's there. He's got it in his hand. And he does have the other axe underneath because I didn't get rid of it, but it just shows that it's a thing and I can get that to work. And if I escape now and equip the old axe again, normal axe, he'll have the normal axe back again. And it does change to the brown axe, and that's because I'm in the middle of doing it. And if we completely clear and get rid of it so he's barehanded, he won't have a weapon at all. I don't know who would want to do that because you're super weak when you're barehanded, but yeah, 2 hit points. But you can do it, and I'm glad I've managed to do that. And no matter who your custom hero is, that'll work the same. I will have to set up some conditional branches in the common event section to get that to work for every single custom hero, but it's doable. It'll just take a bit of time. Moon Shadow, how are you doing? Welcome back. He's going to ask them a question. Good pun. Raindrops are the tears of the gods who weep eternally after being chained into servitude by man. Very, very creative and interesting, Mia. I like him. Copy and paste. But anyway, let's just turn off that. Appreciate you guys. And usually what happens is when we do a stream that's relevant to stuff that's said, I usually like get a brainstorming session put together, and anything that's being said will be noted. Even if it's like months after, so it's still nice to make those notes. Maybe a monk. A monk. Oh yeah, what was the question? I forgot now. I might have nodded off for a second. So sleepy today. Oh no, did you get no sleep last night, Moon? No nose. So you could have non-magic characters have the ability to use magic. It draws from their health pool. That's cool. Funnily enough, Rose is a vampire, and a lot of her skills are very much about that, drawing from her own health pool to heal others or to buff others. And so yeah, that sort of concept definitely works for her, which makes sense as a vampire for sure. But it's cool to consider that for others instead. And even if some of these can't be made to work because of limitations with the engine, you know, it's still cool to like at least consider them, because you never know. It's better than no ideas at all. Thank you for all your ideas. Okay, so where were we? Right. So here we are. We were talking about weapons. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do the starter weapons for now on the hero, guys. I'm not going to put the special weapons on all the heroes yet, because we're not at that point in the game. Once the weapon shop opens, maybe it'll be open from the start, but you'll need raindrops to buy these weapons, and you won't have any unless you fought enemies first around the forest. So you're not going to be able to buy this second tier weapon until you've gone around the Everbloom Forest once and fought the boss, you know, and then you'll probably gather enough raindrops to buy it, and maybe some armor and other stuffs as well. But I'll repeat myself again, this weapon looks exactly like the Everbloom Forest, guys. The brown bit of the axe head and the arrow is the same as the cliffs of Everbloom Forest. Well, it's the same colour anyway, so I like that it visually matches. Okay, so what we're going to do then, I'm going to go back to this one. I'm going to copy and paste the starter weapon for the axe first, and we'll do the bow after. We're going to overlay it over all the sprites. So this metal axe here is it was just a placeholder. It was going to be the one we was going to use at first before I had the idea to have different aesthetics for the weapons, because it was a very all-round kind of normal looking axe that would look okay at start or end game really, so it seemed like a good one to use. But in all honesty, I love the idea of having different ones throughout the game, because when you go to different shops and craft different weapons, you want them to look a bit different. It's fun. So you never know, we might have this axe later on for some other time. Might be sold in some shop in another region. But for now, we're going to use this boring looking axe here, because this is the first weapon, and it's got to look a bit meh on purpose, hasn't it? Because you're not going to have something epic immediately. So can we rotate that? Yeah, so all we'll do is we'll put this where the axe is, and then we'll delete the old one. So we just need to replace this axe with that one on all of the battler sprites. And then we'll do the same with the bow here. And because we've already we've done the positions now, and I think we're happy with those positions, aren't we? We don't have to do too much thinking. This bit's not too bad. But once it's all done, once we've overlaid all the weapons, all we'll do then is copy and paste in place this on every single custom hero we have, and same for the other one. And let's catch up with chat. Almost a wave now. Yay, GG Moon. It would be interesting too where magic comes from in terms of a lore perspective. Is magic inherent ability or is it castable? Yeah, I mean, it's so cool that there's like literally any direction we can go. It's like we think of like a concept, an idea, and we just think, okay, guys, how should we take this? And we just build it into whatever we want. World building is fun. World building is fun, isn't it? And there's so much to talk about. We haven't even talked about religion or anything like that yet. There's so much to do, and it's fun to like talk about something when it comes to light in the story. Like once we start introducing side quests, there might be a bit of time where we have to flesh out some lore, because you never know. So a side quest could be related to a god or magic or a sort of theme we need to flesh out a bit more. But I'm gonna copy and paste all Mia's notes. I've got notes from Mia, Azrael, and Eld as well. Is the website the best place I could read up on lore stuff? Not until the next update. There's actually no lore on the website yet because it hasn't been updated since launch. But in the next update, which is June, I'm going to update everything all at once, all the new character sheets, the new story so far, etc. The lore will be on there too, the current lore video. But I do have lore videos on YouTube, guys. So exclamation, oh, I haven't done that one right. So exclamation mark YouTube is kind of our video place where anything, your sneak peeks, lore, videos, story so far are all on there. At the moment there's not much, but over time there's going to be a whole library of all that stuff as we flesh things out, so that'll be fun. I kind of want to know the lore of the raindrops. Awesome, Mia. Well, this lore video, I've got an actual link to it as well, so you don't have to scour the YouTube. That will link straight to the raindrop lore. I kind of want to follow that format for all lore videos that we do in the future. I'll make little same sort of thing, narrate it and put little clips like that to accompany my narrations. I should make my character have a deep emotional attachment to his weapon, save you the effort of more sprite work. Well, I mean, that could be someone's character, but don't think that doing that work is annoying for me, because it makes me excited. Like, just coming up with this idea and having all these different axes and bows here, I felt reinvigorated yesterday. I was like, oh my goodness. And even though there's like more work, it's like, oh please. But in terms of playable characters, it's not much of a job at all. Different weapons, it's only a job for the custom hero, because there's 294 different versions of the custom hero. But in regards to every other playable character in the game, you yourself included, Van, and all the others that we have, they've only got one appearance. You know, they're not going to just change their complexion or their hair colour randomly like the custom hero. So that's easy. I only have to do your weapon once on your character. Look at all those raindrops, Fantasia. Sorry, I meant to say magic inherently known or requires some kind of device. No problem. I'll copy that too, just so I know. Raindrops come from the sky. They do. Yes. It's all very exciting. And what's interesting is there's a lot of gaps to fill in as well. Like some of that lore is set in stone, but some of it is still pretty mysterious as well. And there has been some ideas and a little bit of community members have like talked in the Discord and even in chat and about potential directions it could all go. So it's all very exciting to think of that and all the possibilities. Oh, I have a weapon suggestion. In terms of story, it might be cool to change the terminology so you're buying weapon upgrades. Like the idea that you start with a dull axe, but by the end of the game, that axe has become a god killer, so it grows with you. That's interesting too. And I remember, I think I briefly said that at something like that at the start of stream. I was like, so are these axes here, are they going to just be early game axes because we're in episode 1, it's the Everbloom Forest, and they'll be super weak after, or will they be upgradable so that the player doesn't feel inclined to just bin them, and sell them because they're weak now and they're in a later episode? It would be pretty cool if there was still some use to these axes, so it wasn't like, oh, bye then, don't need this vine or flower axe anymore, it's pointless. It would kind of be, there's a sort of appeal to keeping these axes and them having a use somewhat. I definitely agree there, for sure. And that, I mean, if we weren't having different aesthetics, that sort of mechanic would work perfectly too, because you just upgrade your one weapon throughout, but I kind of think having all these different visuals gives you just more options as well. Maybe certain ones do different things or could have different traits. I need to look into plugins and see what sort of customization can be done in regards to weapons with RPG Maker, because there might be a plugin that's built in with something like that. I have to have a look. But yeah, I think as long as the player doesn't feel like they've got to just sell the axe or discard it, these axes in a later episode, I'd really like if somehow they could keep them for something, whether that's a weapon upgrade or for something, we'll see. But it's nice to consider. And looking into it, these are some games with a lot. Radiator Stories 100+, wow. Infinite and Discovery 18, Final Fantasy 6 14, a lot of compliments on how well developed each character is. Yeah, 6 had quite a few, didn't it? Valkyrie Profile 30+, Valkyria Chronicles. Ooh, I played Valkyria Chronicles, the one on Steam anyway. Not the most recent one, but the one before that I played, and that did have a lot, and I loved that game. I actually found it really fun that you could pick between all of the characters. Also, Fire Emblem 30+, Chrono Cross and Ziggurat I've already mentioned. Awesome Outgrow. I super appreciate looking into that. I'm gonna put that into my notepad as well, because I'm gonna at least want to look at some Let's Plays of those, the ones I've not played, so I can see how they approach party selection and things like that. Imagine if there were weapon combinations, combine a bleeding axe with a fire axe and get a bleeding fire axe. That's pretty cool too. I mean, it's, again, makes things more complicated and advanced, but it's totally doable. Like if I'm going all out there and creating all these different aesthetics anyway, doing something like that wouldn't exactly be much extra work, and it just makes things sort of more interesting. So it's cool to consider all of these. I super appreciate the ideas, Mia. You're a creative fountain. You are. You really are. Has your name always been green? I feel like I remember a different colour. Oh well, might just be my brain. Yeah, it's weird because Agro's name on the stream comes up as like a turquoise, but in chat it comes up as a blue. It's strange. It's interesting how Twitch works sometimes. Good call. Limitations of the engine has to be taken into account. Yeah, exactly. And I always think my attitude is have all the ideas. Like, get as many ideas as possible and see what's doable after. It's much better than doing it the other way around, because it sort of limits you then. And it's nice to at least get everything on the table and see what's possible first, because you never know, something could work. But yeah, thank you, Mia. Even if we can't do some of those because of limitations, it's still, like I say, cool to consider, and I'll definitely be looking into plugins and stuff like that to see what's workable and what isn't. I feel like my name changes all the time. I think it was yellow one time, red another. You're multicoloured aggro. That's a good thing. Yeah, I want to remember yellow or reddish. Good, then my brain is working. I'm an ideas girl. Yeah, you definitely are. Very, very awesome stuff. Lots of cool ideas to consider. I sometimes change the colour of my name just to troll the stream after a while. Streamers tend to recognise you. Yeah, I definitely recognise you, Moonshadow, from the blue. That's for sure. That's for sure. I'm red. That's my colour. Right, guys, so where were we? Right, so we're putting on the axe, and we've got a little gap here. It's been, as you can see, there's missing pixels, and the reason for that is because that's where his hand goes. So on somewhere he's got his hand in the way, we have the missing pixels, but on others we don't, because we don't need, it's in front of them or something. But this same template fits with every custom hero, and I'll just give you an example. Let's just get a random custom hero from our massive long list of 294, shall we? Here's one. And now we do have to double each of these as well, which doesn't really take much extra time considering we're adding weapons anyway. This one's the hunter, so we'll have to give him the bow. So there you go. Oh, we need to place that one into place. I need to, what is it? It's Shift Control V. Definitely going to be easy to memorise that. So that one goes below. Yeah, so as long as it's all within the squares, then it won't get cropped off. So yeah, it's the exact same with every single one where the hand gap is, which is good, because with some of the female ones, the hand is in different places. It wasn't those first three, but it was, I think it was this one. So I had to get rid of the missing pixels for that one, but it still looks good like that, so it's fine. But yeah, so that's what I've got to do for the custom here. I've got to put the axe or the bow on each of them. And it's only the custom hero that's the real hard work. The rest of the playable characters are going to be far more straightforward when it comes to overlaying their weapons on top of them. So we'll just cross him off for now. What I'm going to do, guys, I might do that job off stream, either tomorrow or the weekend. We'll see. Might do it tomorrow, and I'll time it, and I'll let you know how long it took me to put it on every single custom hero. But I might want breaks in between, so I might not get the real time. But we'll see. I might start some today if we get time on stream. I rarely troll Rose though. I don't have the heart to troll Twinsy. You never. I'm too nice to be trolled. Everyone would feel guilty. How long will you be live today? I might lurk and watch the Raindrop lore video to get a better idea of how the universe works. Yeah, totally. And it's only 3 minutes long. I definitely want to keep them like short mini videos so people don't get bombarded with too much at once. But yeah, feel free to have a watch of that, anybody at all, if you're curious about. It's our first official lore video, and the reason why it's that one is because that's it's pretty vital. I mean, I'd say the main arc of the story, the main story, is going to be very focused on what's in that video. it talks about the barrels, why they're alive, and the barrels are very key to the plot. You know, Carol the Barrel's the main character. And the whole raindrop currency, that's why we call Raindrop Chronicles, you know, because raindrops. So it's all very, very much the main arc, and what's there now could be far more complex than what could really be going, far less complex than what could really be happening as well. There's probably a lot of mystery that could still be filled in that. And I've had people DM me, and I've had people talk in the ideas discussion channel about some ideas, and some of it's got me very excited. People have like said, oh, what about this? They said, I've watched the lore video and this is an idea I had from that, and I've like made a note of that, because I think, you know, that's considering that as something that could happen, could be very fun. But I'm collecting any ideas people have for sure. Hi Rex, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Now there's a streamer I don't mind trolling though. Hi Rex. You never troll Rex either. You're always lovely to Rex, aren't you, Moon Shadow? Are you putting together a lore Bible at all? What do you mean by lore Bible, Mia? I'm definitely interested in that, because Raindrop Chronicles is, to sum it up, if someone came in and asked me, so what's Raindrop Chronicles? What sort of RPG is Raindrop Chronicles? My answer would be a lore-rich RPG with story and a cast of charming, quirky characters, you know? It's going to be very lore driven. So yes, anything that's related to lore, I'm very interested in exploring for sure. His trolls are awesome. There are bad and there are good trolls. I'm always a good troll though, yeah. I've always said I like a bit of nice, light-hearted, silly banter, that's for sure. Trolls get no mercy from me. They're just banned immediately. But, you know, nice trolls can stay. How are you there, Rex? I hope you're having a good work morning. I hope it's been kind to you. So a lore Bible is just like a master document that breaks down the world building of your game's world. That sounds cool. Is there a game or any example, Mia, that I could look at as like a sort of template or inspiration? Because if there is, I'll look at it and I'd sort of do my own version of it for Raindrop Chronicles. Because although we do videos, it'll be cool to get a written document as well, I think, for people that maybe can't, or, you know, can't hear, like hard of hearing. I mean, it's always nice to have multiple ways of viewing things and reading information. For sure, it's good to do both, I think. And that's why in the Story Sci-Fi version of the website, I've got a written, like I've literally writ out everything I've narrated in the Story Sci-Fi video. If you've been to the story section on the website, you'll see. And I plan to do that for all of them, because some people might not really watch the video. They'd rather read what's happened. And I could always do something like that with the lore as well, I think. Maybe because I'm going to get a lore section on the website. And I'll probably lay it out in a very similar way to how I've done the Story Sci-Fi, where I've got the video accompanying some text, maybe something like that. I have a link to the original Doom Lore Bible. I think a huge Google Doc. Yeah, Google Doc could work too, or on the website, or both, or we'll say what works best. Whole change your name colour to throw the streamer off, that kind of trolling. Basically, ask anyone I've ever modded for and they'll tell you I'm a good troll. I believe that. I couldn't imagine Moon not being a nice troll. Goodness one. Forgot it was Wednesday. It's going well. Thought it was Sunday, yeah. I've never streamed on a Sunday ever. Maybe once in my whole streaming life I've streamed on a Sunday. Rex, I sent you a friend request on PSN. Ah, Fantasia's so sweet. Okay, so guys, and Rex and anyone who's just popped in, if you're wondering what all these fancy weapons are here, that's because our custom hero is going to be using them now. I'm going all out with this, guys. When episode 1 comes out, I'm expecting people to DM me or email me asking how I got all these weapons on all my custom heroes, because, you know, it's going to be pretty... It's not something you see in many RPG Maker games, this. I've been doing a lot of research. I even posted on the forums to figure out if there was a way to do this more easily, and there isn't. So the fact that there is no plugin for what I'm trying to do means that there's probably not many RPG Maker games out there that are going to be doing this. So yeah, it's always good to have unique points. Okay, so let's get the axe on our warrior. So this is our starter weapon then, guys. This boring brown axe here is our starter weapon. But, you know, it could be a super powerful boring axe one day, if we have a weapon upgrade feature or something. Have to check on that later. Probably because of the tarot reading today. It's usually on Sundays. It really threw me off. Yeah? Did you have a good fortune telling moon? Hope it was good. Being fresh with Rexy or Pearson. Or DM me some links to videos, examples. If you're like, sure, I'd super appreciate that. That would be fantastic. That would be fabulous. Righty ho. So yeah, we're just going to do starter axe for now and starter bow. So first job, I'm going to just get all these axes in, overlaid over this metal one, because we're not going to be using the metal one anymore. Unless, you know, it's sold in another shop later in the game or made from crafting, and yes. So I'll get these put it over first, and I'll do the hand bit at the end. Actually, that might not be smart. It might actually be smarter to do the hand first, because it's in the same position. So it saves doing the double the work. Probably going to be easiest to just, yeah, put transparency on that so I can see what needs chopping off. Even with transparency on, I can't even tell what the hell I'm doing. That might have done it. No, I think I chopped too much off. I'm getting confused now. Transparency's confused me even more. Let's just go back to the start. Hiya, DVWN, how are you doing? I love RPGs. I love them too. Welcome to the stream. It's good to meet you. What is your favourite RPG? Yes, I'm apparently lucky this week, and something about a new love, which I don't really want or need right now. Not after my latest predicament. Oh no! No new loves. Leave Moon alone. He's already got his Helena. So no more new loves. I'm not gonna be happy. I want to make an RPG like you. Oh, awesome! What do you think? What are your ideas? Have you started yet? Are you looking into engines? That's super cool. We love RPGs too. Like for me, if I wanted to quickly find out about raindrops and how they work in the world, I would look at your lore bible, kind of like a wiki for your game, and develop ideas based off on that. Oh, that's cool. But yeah, send me examples, Mia, because it'll be good to have like a bit of inspiration to see how others have done lore in games, and makes it a bit easier to have something to go off for sure. Thank you for the follow, Dawn, as well. I'll call you Dawn. I'll flip that V round and into an I. I am Setsuna. That's a really pretty one, isn't it? That's one that I've wanted to play. That one and Octopath Traveler. So it doesn't have to be like Thor or anything. It could be even a way of tracking your ideas. Yeah, I kind of would love to have a wiki for Raindrop Chronicles or something like that. I want Raindrop Chronicles to have a TV tropes page as well at some point. That would be cool. Like I said, maybe New Love meant me finding something more new in Helena to Love. I'm going for That Sounds Way better. Yeah, let's hope it's that moon. Let's hope so. Okay, it's probably easier to do this. Let's see if this will work. No, it hasn't. I hoped it would, but when the layer's hidden, it doesn't, unfortunately, get rid of the pixels. Which it would be nice if it did, because I actually see what I was deleting then. Because if it's on transparent, I still can't really... Well, I'll put it on 0%. That'll work. So at the moment, guys, I'm just making some edits. There we go, I think that's what... I'm being a bit fussy though, because I want to make sure I've not even deleted a single pixel. Because it won't look as good otherwise. So yeah, that's perfect. So this gap is literally just where the hero's hand goes when he holds the weapon. So it'll be like that. And we put in a new axe on him now, because we've decided this is going to be the axe we use, not the metal one. So now I'm making a cute pixel art isometric RPG, sort of like Final Fantasy Tactics. Oh, you're actually doing it? That's awesome. We have a creative work channel in our Discord, so if you ever do want to show us, feel free to post your stuff in there. A Discord or a Google Doc would likely be best. I'd say Google Doc, as there isn't a character limit. Yeah, Discord is great, especially because that's where everybody is and hangs out, so it's the easiest place. But I've found, like, even doing this, guys, here, like, I've had to separate them all because the character limit, and it can be a bit frustrating and looks a bit messy. But I kind of still want to do it in Discord, but at least an archive of everything in Discord anyway, like an archive of all the character profiles. But if we want to get more detailed, then yeah, Google Doc always works. And I can always, like, sort of do a simplified version of that on the website if I want to do something more dynamic and fancy. But yeah, for an information sort of like thing, you can't really beat Google Docs, can you? Because it's just simple and you can just get it, write it out without much work. Also got a bit carried away and forgot to say hi, Rex. Yeah, Mia's been being super helpful today. You have a pretty voice. Thank you, Dawn. I'm glad you think so. You know, when you're a streamer, you gotta have a good voice. Because that would be a problem otherwise. Hi, Phelp. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Get confused between Northern and Southern? Yeah, for sure. I'm neither. So, hee. Some people think I'm a Northerner though, and some people think I'm a Southerner. I guess it depends where you live in England. Right, quickly gonna watch that lore video. Yay! Hi, Pooh. I really enjoyed making that lore video. You know, putting like some little stock images and videos with me narrating things. It was quite fun and creative to do. What is about the game? Do you mean what's the game about, Phelp? Right, so to just give you some of our most important commands, I always say, well, our YouTube is a good place to go because every stream's on there from stream 1, so you can see everything from the start when this was very young. We got the story sci-fi videos on there, so the first in the series is the one that's there at the moment. We're going to have another one come out next month, and that's going to like be little updates on the story, but it's on the website too. So the website is kind of our little information section of what everything is in the game, but it does need an update. In all honesty, there's a few bits to put on there. So, but it still tells you what you need to know, I guess. Twins' voice best always makes me feel calm, although today that combined with too little sleep did make me nod off for a minute or two. Yeah, my voice makes people go to sleep. I am from the Midlands, yes, Dawn. That's usually all I say when it comes to location, because you know, I can be a little bit of a with information. You know, when you're a person on the internet, gotta be careful sometimes. But I usually don't see the harm in saying I'm from the Midlands. I just don't say the city or anything I'm from, because naive little old me, when I was a baby streamer, right, I told my mods at the time what city I lived in, and then I ended up having a bit of a stalking issue happening. So never again. That's only when you're a noob stream that things like that happens. Fellow Midlander, Worcestershire, both parents from Birmingham. Awesome try. Well, that's a compliment now, although I guess saying that you fall asleep might sound wrong. I meant it as a compliment. No, not in the slightest bit offended at all. It's good to have a voice that soothes people to sleep. Wish Rose would stream during night time when I really need help to sleep. Yeah, I mean, if I ever had to get a second job, if the time ever comes when I'm like, well, unfortunately Raindrop Chronicles isn't giving me the cash, or Twitch streams, so I'm gonna have to get another job. If that does happen, then my schedules would switch to night times more than likely, because I won't be able to stream in the day if I had to work another job. But right now, we're sticking with our afternoon schedule. That's only an if, you know, and for the future if necessary. But we'll see where things take us, right, guys? We'll see where the next 6 months to a year go. You have to be careful. People online are weird. Location talk always makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah, and sometimes I get super innocent and people are just being friendly and it's an icebreaker. Not a problem at all. But sometimes you get creeps in chat that are like, rubbing their hands trying. You know, you get the weird lurkers. But usually the person that asks usually isn't the creepy one, but you sometimes get the creeps that are trying to work things out. I have had some weirdos in my time try and be like, you know, get a bit, cross those boundaries, asking information they shouldn't. Very, you gotta be careful. Even when you're like me, I mean, I'm just a small creator, but even us have to watch ourselves. Imagine, it makes me wonder what it's like for some of the larger content creators out there. I'm pretty sure I can identify the accent, but I'll stay quiet on that. It's funny because a lot of people around my area sound nothing like me. There's a lot of different accents in England. Do you have any scary monsters in your game? Scary monsters. Well, the monsters we got so far are pretty much forest themed monsters, because we're in a kind of forest zone. And most of them are cute, to be honest, at the moment. But I'm sure we're going to get to places later on that have scary ones. I intend to have all types of monsters. And there was a battler artist that I'm a patron of. I'm not anymore, but I was for a couple of months. who like is an artist for battlers and stuff, and I'm using their assets for the battlers. They're super good, and that way we can be consistent and have consistent looking monsters. They have such a variety of different things, so it's pretty awesome. Super interesting. Did you ever come up with a name for the raindrop element? No, we haven't, Mia. It's X at the moment because we don't know, but I'm sure we will think of something when the time comes. Whenever there's a good point to discuss that, I can see us having a sort of brainstorming poll stream for something like that, and that'd be super fun. FF13, where can we find that amazing character by the name of Hope? Highs from Rose. I was thinking earlier, I bet Moonshadow's going to say that name today, and I was right. I knew it. Also, what makes the element valuable? Yeah, see, all this stuff is questions to fill in. There's a lot of gaps to fill, and I kind of like to keep the ideas open. I mean, eventually things will be set in stone because things have to be, you know, as the story unfolds, but I like to keep things open for as long as possible because who knows what cool ideas people could come up with. But I will say this, and I'm not going to reveal too much but there is someone that DM'd me from the community concerning that element and some ideas about the lore video, and I was very interested and thought I was very impressed by the person's ideas, because I hadn't considered much about Element X at all. To me, that lore video, I was all focused on the barrels and the spell and the antagonist and even the government, because they're the key parts of that, and this Element X is like this mysterious thing. And somebody came to me and was like, what about this? And they threw some ideas at me. I'm not going to say what yet because I like to say, but it's cool. It's cool to gather all these interesting things. It could be cool for the element to make magic possible. Yeah, for sure, because it all kind of links. You know, you think if this Element X is able to be this powerful, you know, it's capable of doing a lot of things. If it can, yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I'm making a note of that as well. The problem is, even if it is innocent creeps not involved in the conversation, we'll use information to pinpoint where people live. Yeah. And it's unfortunate for me, as someone with a pretty strong British accent. It feels like something I'll never be able to avoid. But thank you for the follow, Kurd. I appreciate that. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Make sure I've copied anything that's been said in chat that's a good thing to make note of for the project. My favourite monster, cute slimes. What if the raindrop elements taste really yummy so everyone wants it? I know. You know, it's valuable, and that's interesting too. It could be cool for the element to make, yeah, Tears of the Gods. Indeed, Mia. It's a good one. Who knows? Maybe that links to the thing that the person DM'd me saying. Maybe. What you need to do is just put on a really strong Cockney accent. I wish I could do accents binary. I've always thought it would be cool if I could, but unfortunately it's stuck with my voice. This voice. Only this voice. I'm bad at accents. Okay, so time to come on with this. So I'm probably gonna, looking at the time, we'll probably be doing this for most of the stream, but we'll ramble on about stuff while I do it because it's fun. So I think we'll merge those layers now. hands in the same place for that one. I'll keep the hero hidden, I think. It's actually a lot easier doing this without seeing the hero. Because in all honesty, it's easy. All I have to do is literally overlay this axe on top of the other. Okay, so now is the one behind the head. I looked at Mia Budge's channel, it looks so adorable. Mia has like incredible art in her panels. Very, very eye-catching. For sure, I'm in agreement, Dawn. Speaking of creepers, section of the game where there's an NPC that becomes infatuated with your character, stalks you around one of the villages. Oh my god, Mia. It's so funny you say that because we have a community character who fits that theme perfectly. Let's just get it up. Legmog's character. Where's Legmog's character? And a major NPC antagonist, Poppy Papercut, submitted by Legmog. Let's just open that character sheet. So she looks the exact same as my character Rose. Let's get Rose's up just for comparison. So this is me. Let's zoom in. And this is Legmog. So as you can see, we're basically, there's very little difference in our looks. But yeah, basically to sum it up, Poppy Papercut is an obsessed stalker of Rose. So we've already got the stalker in the game, and it's going to be like, you know, obviously this is going to be something probably introduced quite early. I could definitely imagine it being in episode 1, because all this character sheet stuff that's here very much links in with what's happening in the game right now with Rose. She was held captive for being a dangerous vampire. She's not a dangerous, she only kills bandits, not nice people, but she's misunderstood. And Poppy is actually making her have a bad reputation. And if you're interested, feel free to read the character sheet. It's pretty funny because when Mia said that, I was like, yeah, we've already got our stalker in the game. Actually, stalker of me as well, of my character of all characters. You look so lovely. Oh, me? Thank you. Okay. So that had to be mentioned. Right, so back to business. So we've got to rotate this one. Let's get rid of that little bit of pixel that we don't need. So this axe is chopped off simply because it pokes through him otherwise if we leave it too long, and we don't want to see it poking out. So for that reason we've chopped it off. And this goes behind him, so this will have to go under the hero layer. I thought you meant me feels bad, man. You too. Yay! All of chat look awesome. It could be cool to have a B team, like another group of protagonists that think they're the hero, but at certain moments of the game, they show up for a little comic relief. Maybe that they fight you too, regardless they're useless and mess up every step of the way. Yeah, that to me is what I'd call an interesting side quest, Mia. Somebody said something similar a few streams ago, but it was about the barrels and about them kind of switching personalities for comic relief. Something went wrong or something. And another one was the barrels turning into humans from some kind of spell or You know, there's all sorts of really entertaining side quests we could do, and that is definitely one. I'm going to save that one too. And even if we can't have, like, you know, I said some side quests might not make the cut for episode 1, but whatever doesn't make the cut or seems good when we do have our side quest stream and we get them all listed and that, you know, I like to keep them there because there could be a time and place in a future episode where it'd be perfect, for sure. So yeah, that sounds fun, and that's what it's all about to me. It's side quests that are either entertaining in a comic relief way, because they're so memorable. When I've played questing RPGs, the ones I tend to remember the most are the ones that made me giggle in some way or another. So definitely those kind of quests. I want plenty of them, and any quest that gives you some kind of emotion, whether it's laughing or giving you a bit of feels, you know, something that gets the emotions going. Hi Chicken Dogface, thank you for those 100 biddies. I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing good. Hope you're on a great Wednesday. Let's have some hyping chat for the biddies. Biddy hype. Oh, hello, hey Chicken Dogface. Yeah, Rex is here to say hi to Chicken Dogface. Okay, so now we need the axe that doesn't have the gap in for the hand. And I don't think I've got that anywhere, so I'm going to have to copy it again from here. So what I'm going to do between now and Friday's stream, because I stream Monday, Wednesday and Friday every week, I always like having the days off in between because it gives me a bit of chance to get productive on the project in between streams. I like having something to at least show you guys or talk to you about what I've done in between streams. So I do like that schedule. But what I'm planning to do is finish all this. I'm going to get this starter axe weapon that we've got here. This brown boring axe. Because it's boring on purpose, because it's a starter weapon. So I plan to get them put on the heroes and the hunter. And I'm gonna, all going well, get them on every single custom hero as well. I'm gonna get them all saved with the starter weapons, and I'm gonna get them put in the engine as well. I'm actually gonna show you how that works, because in case some of you are intrigued about that. But basically, here's the database. It's all done on a common event where every time the menu is closed, it checks if the hero, what the hero has equipped, sorry. So if the hero has a normal axe equipped, or the vine axe, or no weapon at all. That's a script for no weapon at all. So if he's got hero 100 is actually the variable I've randomly set for our hero right now. So that's him with the axe. Let me just, I don't know if you can see that, guys, because sometimes the window capture doesn't show. So there we go. Yeah, it's a little bit small, but as you can see, he's got his axe in that one, and the vine axe one, he's got the vine axe. So I tested that and it works. So when you're in the menu and you equip between the axes, he literally does change his axe. So I was glad that worked. I have to give every single hero, and there's 294 of them, I have to give every single one of them their own variable number. And then I say if it's that hero number, then it has to change to that image. You know, it's a time-consuming job, but it's the only way to do it, so it's worth it. Cute emotes. I want to steal the emotes. Can't believe there's an emote gate thing happening now. How silly is that? Just show all the emotes. Okay, so we're going to close that off for now. I'm actually going to shut down RPG Maker temporarily because we don't really need to do that right now. I think that most of what we'll be doing on stream today will be the visual stuff. Once we've got all the axes and bows on, all the custom heroes, that's when I go into the database and do all those conditional branches. That's the job after. Emote gate. Wait, emote gate. Yeah, it's an actual thing now. I go check Twitter and it's what even is happening to the world? I'm not one for drama. In fact, I've been thinking about taking a temporary leave off Twitter because it's so unproductive for me. Just seeing the nonsense that is there sometimes. And a lot of time can get wasted just reading nonsense. But what stops me from actually not going on it is because I like to see what my friends are up to, you know. I'm actually going to merge these layers now because once we start getting loads of separate layers, it can be a bit annoying. So let's, yeah, there we go. So a lot of these axes that are on the sprite sheet are basically the same. So these 4 here are just this same asset repeated at this point. So we'll just... Drama on Twitter, never. Hi Scaly, how you doing? It's so good to see you. Tell me more, Twitter is the worst. Yeah, it's literally just, there's a debate, to summarise, there's just a debate on, some people are offended by seeing other emotes in their chat, basically, especially when the person in chat is using their own emotes. Some streamers get offended by that apparently, and then there's another group of people that literally don't care at all, and that's what I fall into. I don't care. I just say, show me all the emotes. I'm not bothered. So yeah, it's just a strange thing. Hey Scare, how you doing, Scare? I hope you're having a good Wednesday. Hope it's treating you well. I couldn't care unless it's a streamer I have issues with, yeah. And if it was a streamer I had issues with, they'd probably not be in my chat anyway, so I don't think I'd have that problem. I think it only becomes a real problem if like they're literally being rude about it and something, but to me that goes beyond just simple emotes, you know. I don't see it as self-promotion or anything like that, and I'm not even offended by people. Like, I will gladly like say, oh yeah, me as a streamer, Rex is a streamer, Scaly used to stream. I'm fine with talking about my friends being streamers, but I'm only like truly bothered by it. Like, say some random comes in your stream and is like, I'm a streamer, come watch me live now. Now that would be rude, but you know, that's just common sense, you know, nobody does that unless they're an idiot. So I don't care personally. I don't think either preference is wrong. No, like most things, people are making a mountain out of a molehill. Yeah, that's basically what social media is like now. Everything is made into a big deal. My husband, he just had to drop $1,000 on a car repair rib. Is it weird calling him your hubby now, Scaly? I bet it's different. Does it take some getting used to? But gee, congratulations! I'm so happy for you. I don't really see much drama on Twitter, but that could be because I only follow artists and a few streamers. I block everything that's annoying. Sensible, Van. That is sensible. Unfortunately, because I'm in streamer Twitter, that's where a lot of the drama does happen. And it's unfortunate that the people that I follow aren't even the people in my timeline. Because I don't follow many people. I actually did a big unfollow spree several months ago. I only like follow just over 100 now, and that's really just people I am friends with or enjoy the content of. And strangely enough, I still get randoms in my timeline, people I'm not following. It's a very strange algorithm, really. I'd rather just see the people I follow, but I know. Sometimes you get some interesting things appear, and you're like, oh, that's a good tweet, but sometimes you're like, oh, what's this doing here? I don't mind using my emotes here, but if I were to spam my own emotes, I'd feel a little bit weird about it. Yeah, I just say I want to see all the cute emotes. It's weird, but I love it. Yeah, it must be really nice. You'll get used to it, I'm sure, eventually. And I loved the pickies, by the way, that you shared in the Discord, Scaly. Okay. I'm going to be a first pot here and do it exactly the same, because I don't like this, so it's not the same. Doesn't matter, but I'm doing it anyway. Nah. My goodness, it's really warm here today in England. Super warm. And then the ice cream later. Same here, I was supposed to go out for a walk, but ended up here instead. Yeah, well, I'm not going to complain, because we got Moon here hanging out with us, so that's awesome. Thanks for your stream food, and then hopefully it's cool enough to walk the dog. Take care, Rose and Chet. Take care, Binary. And I hope you have a nice walk with the doggo, and enjoy the foods as well. Thanks for hanging out. Being awesome. So we're finally nearly done. It's all the mindless work, this bit is. But in a way, that's nice, because sometimes it's nice to do the easy repetitive stuff. Oh no. There we go. No, that's not the right direction. We nearly got it though. I think we might have to reorganise this bit, because yeah, because that is the right way, and unfortunately it's positioned vertically, so we have to do it again. But yeah, this is, to me, I'm really glad I'm going all out with the weapon thing, because the vanilla, the default, it's boring. Like, literally your hero would just look, he wouldn't even have his weapon in his hand. So it's more work for me, but it'll make me happy, my heart happy, to actually see weapons in the game being held. I like weapons to be shown off. Okay, so yeah, let's copy and paste those 3 and then. But yeah, so I'm only going to do the starter weapons for now, guys. I know we got like 2 other weapon types that we've got planned here for the later on in episode 1. But I'm going to go back to doing those once we get to the point where we're going to unlock those weapons. Because it's never fun to do too much of the same, like for, you know, in one go. For me anyway. Yay, Carol the Barrel. Oh, by the way, will there be any kind of firearms in the game? Oh, good question, Moon. We have a class, a gunner class. Someone is a gunner in the game. Akira's character. So in the Discord, we've got the list of playable characters, and one of them is a gunner. So yes. And whether there'll be any other type of gunner classes, who knows? There could. I mean, I'm trying to think of other RPGs now. Is it just your traditional gunner, and is that it when it comes to those classes? Because, I mean, I guess it would depend. I'd say that he's probably the only one I can think of right now would probably be him. So that might be it. He might be our only gun person in the game unless someone else thought of another class that was similar but very different and used a different kind of gun. But yeah, so all possibilities. I mean, I know there'll probably be a few magic users. Some will use a staff, some will use be different kinds of weapons. That'll be fun. Pew pew pew. Yeah, so we don't know when we'll come across Akira's character, but it's probably, well, it's not going to be episode 1, I'd say, but it'll definitely be at some point. You gotta have that gun class. What's an RPG without one? I honestly, my answer to things like that is anything's possible. Like if it's a class that is been in D&D or any RPG, then most likely, yeah, we'll have it in Raindrop Chronicles too. Even if it's not there now, currently, I'll add it to the form and for someone to be for when they have their character. But yeah, as for Friday's stream, it's either going to be carrying on with weapon stuff, like maybe doing the database, conditional branches. It might be that, but I might also prefer to do something that's a little bit, that would require a bit less focus. So we'll see, because I'm going to see how much I can get done between now and Friday first. If I do get the weapon stuff done, and it might, to be honest, I might, then we can move straight to the skill tree stuff on Friday. And that'll be fun to go back to looking at our skill tree. It's been a while since we last looked at our skill tree stuff. Okay, so there's one more that we haven't done, that one there. So I'm gonna copy and paste this one, and I think the hand is in a different position with this one, so I'll have to delete the pixels in a different way. We can't just copy and paste one. Random fact, it's Cher's birthday today. She's turned 74. Wow, well, she looks good. But I haven't seen her in years, but wow. I would not have thought she was that age. But then you guys wouldn't think I'm my age either. Everyone thinks I'm 12 for some reason. Well, not everyone, but bus drivers certainly do. Okay, so I think that's fine. Just gonna check everything over. I don't really need to get rid of these pixels here, but I want to anyway, just for so everything is kept consistent. Because when we start having different variations of axes and stuff, it's nice to make sure everything follows the same pattern. I just don't want them to just be messy. Okay, so I think that is all good. So, delete the old axes. I'm just merge all these layers now, but I will have to split them into 2 layers because some go behind and some go in front. So, as you can see, these ones need to go behind him. Kia, thank you so much for that sub. 7 months. My goodness, thank you so much for support. Can we have some hype in chat, everybody? How are you doing, Kia? It's good to see you again. Hope you're having a good Wednesday and a good week. How are things going on your end? Couldn't I make a new layer from the selection because the selected area is empty? No, it isn't. Oh, it is. Got the wrong layer. There we go. So, yeah, I think these are all. Yeah, I think all of those ones. Just going to merge those ones and put them behind the hero. Yep, that's how they should be. And the others are the ones in front. there we go. So the only ones that don't have the weapon are these 3 here in the middle, and that's because the engine does it for those ones automatically. Because one thing default RPG Maker MV does do is it does show the weapon when you draw it and attack a monster. It does do that, so it isn't all, you know, it at least does show the weapon at that point, but it doesn't show your character actually holding the weapon throughout. So that's why we're putting them on the sprites, so we can actually see it, but we don't need to do it for those 3 as the engine does it. So that saves a little bit of work. Thank you for the hype, Scaly and Moon. Thank you for the hype, Vikia. Right, so there, we've done the warrior. So really the next job is just put them on all the other heroes. We might be able to do a bit of that on stream today, so you can have a peek at some of our custom heroes, what they look like. But before I do that, I think I'd like to do the bow, because we have a hunter as well that we need to put in the starter bow for, because this bow that we've currently got here isn't the starter bow. That was just a random one, a random template we did. So our starter bow is this one. So, oh, we don't want that one. That is actually the one that is used when he draws the weapon. The engine will use that one automatically. But we'll want this one, and we will have to rotate. I think what I'm going to do instead of actually rotate and edit this one, because it will make it deformed and we'd have to re-edit it, so I'm going to just recolor it. So one sec, I'm going to hide the hunter. So what I'm going to do is, actually this might be a bit easier to do because it's exactly the same bow type, we just need to change the colours. So if we click contiguous, is that how you pronounce that? Right, if we click that, we might be able to just edit this in a second. It might not be that hard a job. Might have to do the front ones first though, so now we have to untick that. Yeah, so if we untick that contiguous box, I can't say the word, then it'll paint everything that has that colour. It hasn't painted these ones, that's because they're on a different layer, and we'll do those ones after. And they're on a different layer because they're the ones that go behind. They have to go behind here and they always go in front. So yeah. So yeah, let's just colour these in first. So I'm glad that this bit is a little bit easier. It's nice. So everything's coloured in that should be. Completely matches that bow, I think. So now we've got to just do the behind layer ones. There we go. So there's nothing in there that's wrong. I don't think everything's coloured as it should be. That can go now. Because we did rotate the bow by 45 degrees because vertically it just didn't work. It didn't look right when he was holding that bow when it was straight, so I did rotate it by 45 degrees and I had to give it an edit because it looked really messy, but now it looks good like that, so we're all good. That's our hero with his bow, and that's our hero with his axe. So they're exactly the same. That's the starter weapons, folks, and here they are. So there's the starter weapons. They're boring as they're meant to be. And now we've got some more interesting weapons that you'll get later in the Evergreen Frost. I'm in love with them. 1 year and 10 months. My goodness. Is that what you would have expected, Moon? Or you would have thought longer? You would have thought you'd have known me longer. Hi Chubb, hey Rose, come here often. I'm here for the first time ever today. This is my first time in this stream. And I managed to get a bazillion raindrops in one stream. Can you believe that, guys? By the way, this is completely unrelated, but thank you very much for being so relaxing. I'm in the middle of a rather frustrating issue with work and you're keeping my blood pressure down. Oh, that's so nice. Well, that's lovely to hear. I'm glad I can help somewhat. Yeah, I'm glad I'm relaxing. Like, see, I don't purposely try to be relaxing. I'm just being me. And I mean, surprisingly, I'm flattered as well. People have come to me and said that I'm really chill and my streams are really nice to chill to and have as background noise. I've had that comment a couple of times or a few times, and it's a really lovely thing to hear, because, you know, it's just nice to know that I can help people feel chill and stuff. I'm not really an angry person, so, but of course we all get our salty moments. But can you believe it, guys? One person once described me. I was playing Dark Souls. This was back when I played video games, before Raindrop Chronicles ever existed. I was streaming Dark Souls, and someone said to me that they've never seen someone play Dark Souls in such a calm way before. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. Because I thought I was so salty, like in my own head. I thought I was really mad and angry all the time. But apparently not. Apparently I was the calmest Dark Souls player they'd ever seen. So, yeah. I don't get mad at games, apparently. I thought longer. Me too, Moon. Maybe Twitch is broke. I think it's broke. Same with Rex. I could have sworn I followed him longer, but guess not. Sometimes time passes really slow. You know, time passes quick, but then time passes slow as well. And you think you've known people longer than you have. It's weird, isn't it? Are we doing follow ages? Yeah. 3 years, according to Twitch, when I clicked my name, is how long I followed you. You weren't very calm when reading chat or walking off ledges. We all have our salty moments, but I think me at my most saltiest is still calm to a lot of people, because some people get really mad and I'm calm compared to that, I guess. Rose were really calm until she played Until Dawn, yeah. I scream at the spooks. 2 years, 10 months, 2 years and 9 months. Yeah, Chub Cheeks and Rex were two of they have the founder badges, guys. Can you see the number one? It's because they were one of the first 10 people to ever subscribe to me on Twitch. So, yeah, baby streamer when those guys met me. I'm actually looking at RPG Maker MV right now, seeing how the character generator works. Awesome, Van. Did you get it then? Or have you did you buy it a while ago and you've only just got round to it? Or are you just watching a video? You might just be watching a video, but that's cool. What do you think of it? What are your thoughts? Because I know you're interested in making a game yourself, aren't you? Bought it in a bundle. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you should definitely have a mess around with it. Okay, so we've officially done it then. We've officially put the weapons on our hero, and before we jump in and put it on every single one of our 294 custom heroes, I would like to test it to make sure everything looks good with this weapon first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save them both, the hunter and the warrior. So it's in the SV actors folder. And this is going to be saved on a new file. I'm not going to save over the bare-handed one because we need the bare-handed asset for if someone weirdly wants to unequip their weapon. I don't know who would, but we got to have it because I don't think it's possible to force equip a weapon So if someone did be barehanded, I want to like at least have the asset that matches with that. So we've still got those there. This does, however, mean we are going to have an absolute extensive amount of files, PNG files, because of all. Not only are we going to have the barehanded custom heroes, we're going to have the hero with, you know, the starter axe, the hero with the vine axe, the hero with the flower axe, and other axes all in the future episodes. But luckily I found 65 KB is the file size, so it's not huge. If it was like a huge file, I'd be concerned because it would make the game, you know, be a big file. But these are very small. I make sure what I do. I always make sure, because when you save as a PNG, this always comes up. I've got to get my display catch up. Yeah, that always comes up. PNG options, and I always make sure I have it on smallest compression because it makes the file smaller. Then if I had it on none, it'd be a bit big, and over time with all the custom hero different weapon combinations, you've got that be a bit, wow. Raindrop Chronicles, it'd be a bazillion gigabytes. So yeah, I'm doing that, and it doesn't ruin the quality. It still looks pretty good. That's I sort of think that's the most sensiblest thing to do. Make sure everything's saved to that. And then it's a super tiny PNG file. Like, it's literally just like 60 kilobytes or something, and it's nothing. And even with hundreds of those over time, the size would be equivalent to what a piece of music audio file would be, or something, or maybe I don't know, but you know. But so let's save the hunter one as well. So far interesting. Seems like it could be easy to learn. Watching you keeps me motivated. That's awesome. I like knowing that I help motivate people too. For sure, motivation can be a funny thing. I made a video on it because it's such an important topic. It's on my YouTube, about staying motivated. I want to kind of continue to make those kind of videos. Maybe release one a month or something. I'm not looking into macros, but I'm still scared of using one because, yeah, I kind of would rather do the hard work by hand. But we'll see. There we go. So those are both saved now. I might need to change the position of these at the axes here, because this is actually what the engine gets when it does the automatic action in battle. And that's why we have a sort of slashy looking visual for this one, because then it gives the impression that it's slicing the enemy when it animates. So I'm not sure if these are positioned 100% correctly, so I might need to move them about, shift them a bit. So that's what we're going to test now. But yeah, I just want to test for both Hunter and Warrior. These look good, these animations, and there's nothing at all that needs editing, because it would be a disaster if I'd already put them on every single custom hero and then we realised after that one of them was out of position. So that's why we need to test. So we'll do that. Right, so let's open RPG Maker again. I'm getting hungry and I've got no snacks. My tummy's rumbling like mad. Okay, so let's hide Photoshop for a bit. Well, we can just do a play test actually. We'll test the hunter first, but no, we'll test the warrior first, seeing as that's what we've got the save game for. I used to have a save game for a hunter as well, but I think I overwrited it like big silly. So we'll test for the hunter first. So this is normal axe equipped. Yeah, we'll test ourselves on this plant. No snacks, panic, I know. Give me snacks. It's my dinner soon. I'm tempted to have an ice cream after stream because it's very warm and I know that there's some ice creams in our freezer. Okay, so we can see him with the axe. I know it's a little bit smaller on your end because it's squashed in with the overlay and I'm only streaming in, well, it's a smaller resolution, the stream, to what the actual game is as well. So you might not be able to see in hugest detail compared to me, but you know, you can see it. And he's there with his axe, the one that we put within the starter axe. I'm gonna make Rose I want to make Rose defend because I don't want it to distract. That bit looks fine. I need to print screen the moment he attacks actually because I want to make sure that's positioned fine. But that's all separate from the sprite sheets. It's on a different file. Okay, so I print screen that, and I think it's not exactly in his hand, so it's definitely it's gonna need to change position. But from what I can see, the actual sprite sheet axe positions look fine. We need to test him dead and when he's got a status effect on him as well. And when he uses an item tone, we got potions, but obviously they're not gonna be potions eventually. But you know. Yeah, I think that they're all fine because we only have 3 versions. We have when he's holding the axe. Oh, we have the holding axe version, victory version, when it's on his back, and when he's dead and when he's... So there's more than 3. I don't know what was on about then. So basically, if you want to fiddle around with how the characters look, you can just export the file from the character generator and adapt it in Photoshop. Yes, fine, that's what I do. I always start off in the generator, get the look at the character sort of how we want as best as possible, and then it lets you export as a PNG file all those assets in the generator, save them in whatever folder you want. And then I just open that file in Photoshop, and if I need to change colours or make any slight edits that are necessary, then they're done in there. So it's not too bad at all. Simple. Too warm, 27 degrees over in Yorkshire today, Rose. I'm melting. I know. What is going on, Astriel? It was cold the other day. Why has England got like such inconsistent weather? It was like raining the other day. We need an ice cream, Asriel. What's everybody's favourite ice cream? When it's hot day, what do you like? What ice cream do you like? So we have no skills to take because there's a warrior section, and I want to have something really eye-catching like an icon to represent that and all the others as well, because the default vanilla ones I don't like at all, so I actually got rid of the icons so we can put in our own icons at some point. Game Boy, thank you for the follow. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Was raining here yesterday, super warm weather today, weird, I know. I think it's the same, isn't it, in Sweden? Any kind of country in Europe has that sort of very changeable weather. Extreme moose tracks. Oh, I want some racks. Can we share? Double chocolate chip ice cream, anything with strawberry flavour. That's an odd ice cream. I think it's they only get that in America. They have all the best ice creams. I had one when I went and it was amazing. Orange sherbet or homemade quadruple chocolate vanilla bean. Sounds yummy. I'm going to have a really boring one now because everybody's saying all these awesome flavours. And there's me. I like a fab. That's my answer. And anyone who's not from England will be like, what's a fab? Because I don't know if they do it in the US. Ben & Jerry's ice cream makes some really interesting flavours with strange names. Moose Tracks is one of those. Honestly, I love creamy ice cream. I just don't like having it in hot weather because it melts more. I like to have ice lollies in the really hot weather, but when it's normal weather, I like the creamy stuff. Dark chocolate fudge brownie, Jamocha almond fudge, coconut almond, chocolate and peanut butter fudge. I love chocolate flavours. Yeah, I say give me them all. I've got a sweet tooth in general, so I tend to love anything in all honesty. I need them to kill me. We're going to have to test ourselves on the fruit boss because the plants aren't strong enough to kill us. So I put a sprite of apple here just to test, and that will teleport us to the fruit boss. We still need to give them their icons. Oh my goodness, my computer's crying. Or screaming, should I say. Now, these guys are OP. Oh no, I wasn't meant to escape. These guys are OP, so they should probably kill us in 5 seconds. I don't know what's happened to this poison status effect, but it looks cropped. But I haven't even messed around with the visuals for status effects yet, so that'll be something to work on in the future. Come on, kill us, fruits. Wow, my computer is going crazy. I don't know what's happening. Because, I don't know, I don't think this would be... I've done test plays plenty of times before when streaming and it's not gone that crazy. I need to get rid of that shadow that appears under them when they're dead. Okay. Yeah, but that's something separate to the sprite sheet. That's something else that I can look into. But I think it's all fine, in all honesty. I still would like to check for Hunter though, but we've tested the warrior quite a bit now and I've not seen anything that's like really, that doesn't work or look smooth enough. So I just need to set up the hunter now. Right, so let's go to our common events. Our custom hero is here. We got it. I've got to give a variable to every single one of them, so this would work. So that's our warrior hero of mine, and this is the hunter one. So let's give him the variable 101. Copy and paste that. Just pop that there for now. Okay, so to put this here. Oh, have I made? I think yeah, I've definitely made a buy on my weapon. So we've got to say if hero 1 has equipped by hero 101, change actor images to the one with the bow. So it's simple enough. It's honestly just repetitive work. So bow. And it's a hero 101. So delete the warrior one that we've got there. Put the hunter on there instead. And we gotta just there we go, the one with the bow. You guys can't see, but if I go on the display capture, you'll be able to. So there's a pop-up there that lets me assign the graphics, change actor images. So now when he's got a bow equipped, he'll show his graphic with the bow. But we do need to start a new game. I haven't got one saved for the hunter anyway, so I would have had to start a new game anyway to do this test. But because the variable wasn't assigned to him before, we need to start a new game. So apply. Let's just check the weapon, the bow weapon, make sure it's all fine. Yeah, we need to assign this code to the bow. So weapon image, I think it's weapon image 7. I think the motion's missile because it's an arrow. And the reason why it's weapon image 7 is because that's image 1, that's image 2, that's 3, and these blank bits underneath are 4, 5, 6, and so that'd be 7. Everything's numbered. Right, so apply. Let's do a test play then, and let's hope it works. It's delicious. Moose Tracks is an actual ice cream. What? Confused? Yeah. Us poor Europeans, we have missed out. But it's a very funny name. I'm going to swim over the pond and give a look and taste now because I'm curious. I wonder if it'd let us order ice cream from over there. It'd be all melted by the time it got here though. But, you know, gotta be a way. I love Reese's ice cream. Yeah, that's good. Reese's Pieces, Reese's Cupcakes. Okay, so we're starting a new game. So we're gonna make the same custom hero that we have for the warrior, but the hunter version, so we can test the hunter. Treat us to moose tracks. Yes, it has to happen. I'm having some when I next come. And we'll give you some in Spirit Moon if you're not there with us. Hunter. There we go. So what class would you guys play as, warrior or hunter? Like me, I don't know, because I think both classes are pretty cool. But you'll get to see their skills more when we work on skill trees next week, so they might give you more of an idea what their builds are like. I don't know why I've used Zeds for Jesus this time, but I think I did it with my other just to distinguish between the two saves. Yes, I'm ready. I'd pick a hunter, yay! The bows do look pretty as well. The bows that we've got on our weapon sheet for the Everbloom Forest. I usually end up playing as warrior games, but I always want to be a rogue or hunter ranger, but somehow I end up as warrior anyway. I normally prefer caster classes. I'd probably end up choosing hunter from those too, yeah. Hunter because I like my own character alongside who's likely to be a melee fighter. It's currently planned, there's less overlap. Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing, like, I kind of wanted them both to be like DPS sort of classes rather than casters, because at least then they've got something in common and there won't be too much of a difference in play styles, although one is ranged and one is more melee. They're definitely very different. But yes, like if it was a caster, it could have clashed a little bit with maybe another cast if we were gonna. I mean, the vampire rose kind of fits with both the hunter and warrior, I think. Don't know if she'd have fit as well with the caster, but maybe. That's the fun of it, seeing all these combos of classes working together, I guess. But that's the thing, guys, like, we're gonna encounter all these different playable characters over the course of the game. Some sooner rather than later, some later. You know, and the party picker will let you see who works together well, you know. You'll get to form your own ideal parties, and some of the playable characters you might never have in the party, but others you might. Sometimes you might be in a position where you only get two. Some of the playable characters might have gone off on their own adventures temporarily, so that means you won't be able to play as them if the story locks them out for a bit. So, you know. But we do it so that the class points gained in battles, the progression system, every party member got them anyway. So even if you didn't play as one class, you'd still have got the points. I think that's probably the best way to do it, because it could be very frustrating if you have to play as the class to gain the class points. I did like Final Fantasy's leveling system. Final Fantasy 7's, was it? Yeah, I think it was Final Fantasy 7. They still had it so that the character leveled up even if there wasn't in the party. But some of the Final Fantasies did it so they didn't level up if there was in the party. Melee fighter Haipu. He's in Carol. How dare he violate Carol? I need to... I can walk all over things in Lakefall. I'm planning on turning Lakefall into a parallax map. It's currently a tile set map. So there'll just be more flexibility in what we can add. But that's all going to be done in the tidying up stage once we finish battle system stuff. Yeah, Sanders, and I don't know if he's still going to be in the game, guys, because we might need to make some edits because we don't want to be destroyed for copyright. That's a situation I'd rather not see myself in, and I'm going to have to get myself educated on those rules because I'm not very good with them. I need to educate myself on what's allowed and what isn't, and we'll see. I mean, we just give him, I think he's Colonel Blunders, isn't he? That's what he is. If we can get away with giving him a different name but still make the reference, I think that would be fine. And if we put up a note saying any familiarities or it's all coincidence, and you know how some like games and stories and that have like that note saying it. I can't remember how it's worded now, but it basically says it's all coincidence if any characters do resemble, just like as a way to cover themselves, I guess. Can't type, yeah, because I would like to have some little references there and Easter eggs as you call them, but I have to just figure out what's allowed and what isn't and educate myself, I guess. How many people in the team? Just make a skull in a blue coat. Just one. I'm the solo developer of this kill, but it is a community game. We like to talk and ideas together, and it's all very much we brainstorm and bounce ideas off each other together in stream chat and in Discord as well. It's fun. It's been fun so far. Welcome. Thank you, Quark, for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. So I am going to save this test play because in case it screws up, we don't want to have to make our hunter all over again. So let's see if his bow is working. Okay, so yes, this is what I mean. I forgot to do something, so it's a good job we saved it then. What I forgot to do is really silly and simple. We need to add the bow to the chest. So there we go. Forgot to do that. We only have the axe and Rose's weapon. But anyone who's liking or new here, by the way, guys, and you got questions, feel free to ask them. We do have the website. Feel free to peek at that or our YouTube for some insight into the project and and to see what we've done so far. FAQ page is on the way though. Hey. Still not there. What? So I added it. Bow's there. And just check the database, figure out. Okay, so that's it. We need to put bow as weapon type, I believe. So we didn't have that box filled in. And classes, warrior, axe, bow. Yeah, that's all set up fine. Hi Sam, how you doing? Samurai, welcome. How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a good one. So what we're doing today, folks, I'm doing a bit of test plays. Our hero, our custom hero, because we have a custom hero in this game. You can either be a warrior or a hunter. And we're testing both of them. We're testing to see if the weapon is looking good in his hands, because he has an axe if he's a warrior and he has a bow if he's a hunter. And this has been delayed for a long time, this weapon business hasn't. We've been trying to decide whether the aesthetics between the weapons will change or whether we just have one consistent weapon, but I kind of like the different aesthetics. So we're kind of just testing to see how their weapon looks in their hand, because by default in RPG Maker in this engine it looks like this. The hero will always be barehanded, even when he's meant to have a weapon, which I think is, I want to go more further than that. I want to show the weapon. So I've set it up so we can. Hey, hang on, did we open the chest? I think maybe we didn't. So now we should be able, yeah, now we can equip the bow, finally. So if he's barehanded, he only has attack of 4, but he has attack of 10 if he's got the starter bow in his hand. So now he should have the bow, which he does. Let's just see if all this will, because it works for the hunter with the axe. We're happy with that. I mean, the warrior for the axe. All right, the hunter's the one with the bow. So we're seeing if it looks good for our hunter now. Wow, what on earth happened with that zoom there? I think we got some setup wrong with our hunter's zoom levels. Because I do have the battle set up so it zooms in certain parts, but something's gone a bit funky there. So we'll just ignore that for now. Yeah, I think there needs to be a bit of something changed with the hunter, because we meant to see him like shoot the bow, but the zoom kind of makes that a bit difficult to do. Let's just make sure all the other motions are correct though. Yeah, I think so. I think it's fine. It's just that little bit. So yeah, let's just cross off our test play for a bit and go back to Photoshop. So these are the different variations we've got for our axes and bow for our warrior and hunter. And this is the starter one. I made notes here. So that's the starter weapon. That's the one that's going to be sold in the village weapon shop. The fancy one with the vines and the stone. And the floral one theme is going to be either from crafting, a rare drop in battle reward from a quest. Not all of them, because it's going to be the special weapon. But it's going to be one of those 3. I just haven't decided yet which one is the best. Does RPG Maker have any coding? How did you set all this up? All of this stuff, in all honesty, the code, the back end, you don't get to see much of it, which is great for me because I'm more of a visual person than a maths person. But there is kind of a lot of hard work that has to be done. Like, for example, this common event section here, I'm in the middle of doing a sort of set of conditional branches that check every time you close the menu what weapons equipped, and then your hero's graphic will change depending on the weapon he's got equipped, so it'll show the right one, because if we don't do that, it just won't work. So that is going to take a bit of time. We've only got a few in so far for the hero that we're actually testing it on, but we do have 294 different custom hero assets, which are all here. that's kind of the custom hero thing. So all of those will have to be put into here as well and checked. So that'll be time consuming. But it's pretty, you gotta just focus, and it's very repetitive work, but it's very time consuming to get organised, you know. But it's great for me because I'm not really a coder, I just learn as I go. Yeah, it's very visual. Everything is kind of done in the database. And there is a section where all the plugins are loaded from, and there's a folder labelled plugins that have all the JavaScript files, all these files in them. And sometimes if you want to edit things, you have to edit directly in there, but you don't have to do that, you know what I mean. It's optional if you want to change things. But Reed, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. So guys, what I'm going to do between now and Friday's stream is I'm going to get all those starter weapons, put on every single custom hero graphic that we have. It's 294 different custom heroes. And I'll test them, and then the next task ought to be for me to get every single one of those custom heroes working in a common event, so the game can check the weapon they've got equipped. And this is something I don't have to do. I'll make that clear. I could be like, nah, forget that, and that'd be fine. I could be like, I don't want to show weapons in battle. It's too time consuming. I'm just gonna not bother. But I'm doing this because I want it to look good, and it's honestly just for extra aesthetic appeal and to give the game a bit of a unique factor. Especially because RPG Maker doesn't have this as an actual plugin. If it did, then my life would be easier, and then other people making their own games, life would be easier for them as well. So for that reason, there's probably not many people that are doing what I'm trying to do right now in RPG Maker, but you know, make Raindrop Chronicles a bit more visually nice, I think, to be able to see those weapons in battle. And it's only really, this is something we're going to do for every single playable character that we have. We're not going to do them all at once because a lot of them aren't going to be in Everbloom Forest, so there's no need to go through the whole process of doing their sprites with the starter weapons and the forest themed weapons if they're not even going to be in episode 1. So we're going to do each playable character as we go. So whenever there's one introduced, we will do them then. And whatever weapon they start with, we'll do that. But the playable characters will be easy compared to the custom hero. Easy peasy because there's only one graphic. The hero is the time consuming one because he has a lot of different assets. And same thing, I didn't have to do a custom hero. I could have been like, guys, you just have to have one hero. It's got to just look like that and you're just going to have to live with it. But I didn't want to. I wanted to go all out. So that's why we have so many different versions. And that's why we only have Warrior and Hunter to pick from as well. Because if we had a third class to pick from, say a caster class, that would have like doubled the assets. Well, you know, it would have made more. So we wouldn't just have 294, we'd have another 100 or so with that class. So I did have to limit it somewhere because it would have just got crazy if I made it too customizable. But yes, I like that we do have a custom hero feature, and it is work, but to me it's something that when it's done, it's something you feel very good about, you know. So sounds tedious setting it all up for the sprites. Yeah, somebody asked me on Instagram, they was like, how did you do your custom hero? They were like, was it a plugin? Because I think they were kind of interested to do that for their project, but I was like, yeah, this was no plugin. This was all done with in a common event like this. This is exactly how it looks, what I'm showing you now. All that is what I did. So it's all pure just common event, pure conditional branches, no plugin. And it works, and I was just very excited it actually worked. And you get to, so yes, it's like a solid couple of days of hard work, I guess, to get that done. But once it's done, it's done. That's kind of my attitude, and it'll be the same for this. Probably going to spend. I'd be really happy if this weapon business, I can come on Friday's stream and be like, I've done it now, guys. That'd be really cool if I could say that. So, and yes, there will be other weapons that the hero will have to hold that aren't the 3 that we've got, the 3 weapon types I've shown on stream today. But to me, that's fine, because it won't be until episode 2 when I have to do another lot of this. And you know, episode 2 is way off, yeah, like probably 2022 or something, because episode 1's got to come out first, you know. So it's way into the future and something to think about doing then. And did you find a tutorial online for it? No, I didn't actually. I literally did it just pure guesswork on my end, and experimentation. And I'm not gonna lie, I had to test about dozens of times of failing before finally getting it working properly and being like, oh yeah, this works. I was very patient back then. It was before I even begun the project. The custom hero was the first thing I did before I even decided to stream this and make it into a project. I literally did this as an experimentation before Raindrop Chronicles existed, because I wanted to mess about in RPG Maker. I thought, no, I want to do a custom hero just to see how it goes. And then once I did it, the idea for doing the game kind of came after, because I was like, why not? But yeah, a lot of just trial and error in all honesty. And it's not like it's not like it requires extensive knowledge. It's pretty straightforward in all honesty. It's just a bunch of if statements with things in between those if statements that change. Just image changes in between if statements and variables. And it all works from, obviously there's an actual event thing where it's working from. I'll try and find it, it's here somewhere. Here it is. So this is the process. Basically, it asks questions. Here's the choices. It's like, so, what's your true complexion? It shows the choices, and that's when it calls the variables and the common events. So yes. Personally, I'm far better at doing this kind of work than doing actual code, because my brain just goes funny when I see code, because I haven't studied it properly. But so yeah, it's not too bad. I just say it's literally trial and error, in my opinion, experimenting with what works, and then once you know it works, the rest is just repetitive stuff. It's all just doing the same thing over and over for all the others. But yes. How long have you been working on this game? The UI for RPG Maker looks like it's from the 90s. Yeah, it's very retro inspired. Like I always say, the old Final Fantasy games, Chrono Trigger and all those very retro style JRPGs, it visually is really... So if you've got a nostalgic thing for those, it's great. I personally have a very nostalgic feelings for those kind of games. So yes, Raindrop Chronicles has very much got that look. I do want to make the menus look nice over episode 1's development. They're pretty basic, pretty standard at the moment, and I would like to spend a bit more time making them look a bit fancy as between now and episode 1's release. Have you ever tried learning code? Because it's a lot easier than you think. Yeah, in all honesty, I'm not prepared to take the time to learn that while I'm doing this, because I want to focus on this project, and learning code will just take another, I don't know, 6 months, year, 2 years of my life to do. And maybe at some point in my life I'll be ready to do that. I'll be like, yeah, I'll sit and learn Unity now, or learn some code language. But not right now, not while I'm committed to this. Absolutely no way. So classic RPGs are so much better than most new RPGs. I agree. Seabass knows. Just there was heart and passion in those, and it was really before games became like a money-making driven industry. I mean, there was still businesses back then, and people made them for a living, of course, but it's like it wasn't all driven by money back then. So there was just so much more like heart in what was being made, because they weren't thinking of what from the consumer's perspective. Oh, we need to throw in a bazillion tutorials here so all the casuals understand. There wasn't any of that. It was all just, yeah, just play it. And I liked it when it was like that. Love the accent. Thank you, Killer. I appreciate it. Oh, trust me, code doesn't take nearly as long. You can learn the basics of any language in like a week, but it will take away time for game. Exactly. And it's all about prioritizing, isn't it? And right now, this is my thing. This is my project at this point in my life, and who knows what the future holds. Maybe my next project will be a game I want to try in a different engine, and if so, I'll be like, yeah, let's have a play around in another engine this time. And you know, if once this is over and done with, maybe I'd be prepared. I'm prepared to learn JavaScript while doing this if I have to. But if I have to, you know, if I can do this with my knowledge now, that'd be great. But we'll see. We'll see as we go. Bang on, I agree with you 100%, yes. And I'm very much of the same opinion as those. Like the way I'm seeing this game, the way I vision it, I'm very much old school with the way I approach this. I'm not really like, oh, let's think about making all the monies and appealing to all the casual gamers. No, I'll be doing it how I like, you know. And obviously this is a community game, so I like we talk together and I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea, guys. And most of the time, a lot of those times, those ideas get taken on and we end up creating an awesome game from all those ideas. But ultimately, it's still going to be my vision. And I think that's important. And I'm certainly not going to be putting tutorials in and interrupting things in this game, because I feel that our core audience, the people that would play this, are people who understand RPGs anyway, and they don't need to be told what HP is. So tutorials are fine to just have in the menu, I think, but not when it interrupts the actual game and immersion. I'm not a fan of the hand holding that a lot of new games have nowadays. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I kind of want to pass us to someone, if there is someone online. I'm going to just save all that. So yeah, I gave you a little bit of a peek into how I have done some of these challenging things in RPG Maker, and it's been fun. It just excites me to create something that has something a bit different in it compared to the standard RPG Maker game, because RPG Maker gets a bit of a bad rep sometimes, you know. People think it's like there's nothing original there, but totally wrong. That opinion's totally wrong, because it's not about the engine or the tool, it's about the creator who's doing it. Right, guys, so I'm going to click on a stream. I've found someone, but just want to make sure that they're not going offline, because sometimes that happens. I raid someone and then they've gone. Thanks for the stream. Sorry not being real active in chat today, being busy. Oh, totally awesome, Matt. our aggro. That happens, and I just appreciate you hanging out and lurking and just being part of our awesome community. You're awesome. Thank you for all the support, aggro, and for everyone for hanging out today. I will be back on Friday. I'm not picking a random person. I'm picking somebody who gives us a lot of love, and now it's my turn to raid them today. So I usually just look through my followers list, but sometimes I have done blind raids in the past, but it's quite rare when I do them. But it's gonna be Willow Scale today, because she's so kind to this stream and gives us a lot of love, and she did recently get partner as well, so I think that we should say congrats for that. She is playing Crucible, which I have no idea what Crucible is, but I guess we'll say. Lurk's amazing, they are. Yeah, she's a friend. Thank you for the stream. Shameless Lurkers here, thank you for the stream. Yeah, thank you. And I love my lurkers. Don't ever think I'm one of them streamers that doesn't, because I know there's some out there, shockingly. Lurk forever, guys. Lurk, lurk, lurk. And always enjoy coming here. Yeah, that's so lovely to hear, Van. And I'm excited to have your character in our game. Super excited. Okay, guys, so let's get that raid ready. And exclamation mark raid. Okay, so we'll see you all on Friday. Have an awesome rest of your week, guys. Take care. You're all awesome.